I'm on time today. I wasn't even feeling good. Y'all made me feel good today.
Yeah!
All right.
Well, I want to start off the show by saying, first of all, let's get the legalities out of the way. This is Gender Blender. The views and opinions expressed on this show are not those of Lo Maximo Productions, LMP, or their affiliates. So, I want to start off the show by saying that we're all human. You can put that graphic up for me real quick.
Yes.
As you guys have seen, we have been missing a major member of the show over the last 2 weeks. Manny Vasquez, his father passed away last week. He was in the Dominican Republic. And yes, faded in. So what I want to do, as you can see, there's a picture right there of Manny Vasquez. And this show is going to be dedicated to the memory of Manuel Vasquez Sr., which is his dad. I've known Manny for over 25 years. We went to high school together. Sad to say, I never got to meet his father. You know, I never got to like visit his house like that. But from what I hear, I've been talking to Manny on and off for the last week. I've been, giving him word of advice. He really wants to be here, but obviously he can't. And I don't blame him. But Manny, we have you in our thoughts and prayers. It's a tough time.
Yes, we do.
And what I want to do right now is just want to do a quick minute of silence for Manny's father. Manuel Vasquez, rest in peace. This show is dedicated to you. Manny, we love you. All right. Rest in peace, Manuel Vasquez Sr. Manny, we miss you. Manny. Take your time. Yes. But we miss your energy on the table. And when you get back, stronger than ever, we're here for you. So, what else we got, Splu? That's tough, man. It's tough. It's hard to start a show like that.
Follow right there. You are un criminal right now.
We like to welcome Jayla in the building. Jayla's in the house.
Now y'all know how to clap.
Now y'all know how to clap. I haven't seen. We'll take care of you in a second. We'll take care of you. We'll take
what? Just sit on the floor. Anyway, it's safe right now. Nah, we got you. We got you.
And again, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a packed house
today. It is packed.
Gender Blender.
It is packed.
Hey, my man. So we got a fifth person over there. Was part of the show back there?
Yeah. We're just gonna have you just step out of frame.
The whole show. Chilling, too. Look like the only. All right, let's go.
Thomas brought his own bodyguard.
Yo, bodyguard for real.
It's the new accessory.
Hey, it's the party now.
That's how we get the party started.
This is how we do it. I'm telling you, this is what I love about this show. This is the rawest live fucking podcast on a Tuesday. You know what's going to happen? People tune in because they want to see what the fuck is going to happen. So, I think that's what they're. What are they doing this week?
Oh, look at you. You was all in my style. Look at you.
I don't know where you're going.
It's going to be that type of show. Splu, how was your week, my man? Tell us about your week.
Oh, my week was...
Yo, we didn't even introduce ourselves. It's been that kind of
Because we already... Yo, we home, baby.
I'm your host, Cryptic.
Yes.
Accompanied by...
Hermosa.
Natalia.
Tommy Sanchez.
And, of course...
Yo, boy, Splu. SPLOU.
So tell us, Blue, how's your week been?
Oh, my week was a piece of shit.
Oh, my God. Tell us about it.
It was
therapy time. You got some therapy music in the background? Throw some.
Nah, but I don't need it. My life is just a sad song, bro.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It's like the Joker. It's like his life.
No, I've had a fucked up week.
All right, we'll talk about that later. We're going to change that tonight.
It's only Tuesday.
I'm glad I gave
you word.
Tuesday.
I'm just going to say.
I don't think people understand when I tell you I live different.
Yeah.
Like, my life is, woo!
We'll talk about that.
Good.
Leave it for another show.
We got you.
How was your week, Alina? Tell us about it.
My week was fine. Again, it's only Tuesday. Can't get
I mean, how was last week? When I say week, I say podcast week. Tuesday to Monday. Or Tuesday to Tuesday.
I don't know what I did.
Natalia, what did you do?
You
I know
look
what
like
you
you
did.
did
We turned
say.
up. We turned up Tilila on Thursday. And Friday, we killed Cocina.
It was
Taller.
good.
Oh.
A lot of performances.
Yes.
A little under the weather, but I am living.
That's
I
right.
noticed earlier.
Tommy, thank you for joining us again at the table, filling
Yes,
in.
Thank you,
Tommy.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
I love
me,
you,
man.
Appreciate
Tommy.
short notice one more
I
time.
love you back, man. That's why I hugged you.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I gave
Listen,
Tommy
I
a strong ass
gotta-
hug.
Oh, yeah. I'll give you one on the way
yo,
out.
Emma, mira, yo casi le di un beso, pero I held myself back.
Thank God.
I appreciate
So
that.
so you
though.
cheating?
I
You
appreciate
cheating
that.
on Sosa while he's out? Is that what we're doing?
I cheat on
We'll talk
live,
about
bro.
cheating in a second, but tell me,
Yeah.
tell me what.
But no, I had a fantastic week. I gotta say, it ended with me watching Parasite. I was telling Kay Mosa about it the other day. The movie, fantastic movie.
I saw
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's the only bad thing is the winter weather. But other than that, everything's
It's
phenomenal.
cold.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just cold.
I went to my mom's house just to get those massive, like extra long Ugg boots. I was like, today is the day.
Today's the day.
Yep.
Yeah, I got some like. Can you lower me? I got like some bad echo going behind.
Let me see.
All right. So speaking of cheating, what constitutes cheating? Let's get it right into the show.
Let's
What
jump right into
constitutes
this.
cheating?
That was a rude
I
awakening
think this
right there.
was one of our first podcast debates, but we never really touched on it. Something like that. But
Yeah,
what
we ain't
constitutes cheating?
Can I start this shit?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Oh my God. This
Yes,
is the.
you may.
He has a PhD in this.
Okay.
Please
Feel.
enlighten us.
I mean,
Go for
I
it.
don't- Look, obviously, I'm not good at it. I always get caught.
Well, so what do you have to input? Like, what's your input on that?
What not to do.
I was thinking about this year and just not doing it, bro. Just being.
Not cheating. 2020, no cheating.
I'm trying.
Yes.
I'm trying. I'm trying. Who's snapping fingers?
I am
feel
for
like I
you.
felt that.
Those
Thank
are the-
you.
So
It's a silent clap.
that's what that is. Why you hating?
I'm not hating. I'm
You
helping.
look like you hate me for
I
being.
can't help that. That's just.
You know what? You want me to be faithful to you, Karina? Finally.
This-
Declarado.
I don't
ya.
know. I don't know how Tommy just took that. You saw he just looked at
Yo,
you.
man.
Tommy's like,
You need
I
to-
gave him the look. I was like,
He
dude,
was
you
like,
doing
he's
this to me?
confused, bro.
Pero yo,
on a
I
live
asked Tommy-
cast?
I asked Tommy on a date también. Yo no le paro.
Let's ask the ladies first. For you ladies,
Yes.
what would constitute cheating? What would your man do that will give you a hint that he's cheating, or like, yo, that's just fucked up. Like, you're cheating.
what constitutes cheating?
Like,
Yes.
for you ladies.
Anything you do that you don't want me to know about, which means
That's not fair.
Like, there's a lot of
Okay,
things y'all don't
okay,
want us to do. Y'all don't want us to play
No.
Xbox. Are we
Alright,
cheating?
that's not
Like,
cheating. That's
like,
just stupid.
All right, let's be more. All right.
let's be real.
So-
Let's.
Alright.
Okay,
So-
so
With the obviously, you know, sex with another
Yeah.
person, una chuleadita, que no es nada tampoco.
Here we go.
Pero is what I'm trying to say. Like, what constitutes cheating? Because like I've met people that are like, oh no, well you had this secret, like you said, like a secret conversation, and it's not necessarily secret. It's just you never asked, and the conversation never came up. Pero all of a
I
sudden,
really
now-
ask you
Alright.
every
Really
conversation
do.
you have.
Tú crees que yo
Am
voy a
I
llegar a mi
supposed to be
casa?
asking my boyfriend,
Hey,
like,
baby,
so,
¿qué es lo
are-
que?
have you
¿Qué
been
es lo que
spending
hablando
time
con fulanita?
How was
Buenos días.
how's your sex life, babe? Like, really?
What?
We're gonna
Yes.
live together, and I'm gonna be like, babe,
Let's
so,
start. All right, let's make
how's
this.
your sex life?
Let's start.
Please.
Let's start with
So
something.
what
Let's start. Wait.
constitutes
Let's start with the emojis.
What
Okay.
oh
Emoji.
God.
Yeah.
Emojis in the text. Let's be real. Let's start with
that's
emojis
not
in the
cheating.
text.
That's not cheating. That's
Can I say something here?
Yes,
I just want to say
please,
on the. I
please.
think that, and coincidentally, I was watching a video on that. This
Go ahead.
month.
He does his homework. You say
So
you send him the show notes. huh?
interesting. What happens basically? Cheating is defined as violating your intimate agreement with your partner, right? So if it hasn't been agreed to, then you know you're doing it behind her back.
So you're trying to say that there should be an agreement of the things that you shouldn't do?
Well, what I'm
Like
saying
that's
about
just implied.
Like that's
Like you should know.
like a
that.
handbook, like Date Me
open
handbook?
relationships.
Okay,
There
but
are
that's
open
an
relationships.
agreement.
That's an
Most
agreement.
relationships are implied that they're not open. So like I shouldn't have to tell you you shouldn't grab the girl
They
on
say-
the train.
I'm just saying we're living
You
in
see, that's
interesting
the
times.
obvious that I'm talking about.
But that's the type of thing that'll be like, well, I didn't know because you didn't say.
Tampoco así. Bájale algo.
But we're not getting to what actually costs. Where does the line get crossed where you actually cheated? That's what we're trying to
Okay,
figure
you
out.
Okay.
can't
Like-
cheat
like-
other
I think-
people. You can't have
That's
conversations
obvious.
at 2:00 in the morning with your friend.
Why not?
Why? Okay, why
Dog
not?
died.
Okay, why not?
She is
She
emotionally
got other
in
friends.
need.
She got other friends. I love her. Okay, this is the thing.
Okay,
There's
fine.
clearly the like physical cheating, which we already.
That's obvious. That's an obvious. That's a
obvious.
given.
But I think there's also the emotional aspects of it. So like, if you are, you know, we've talked about this. We know a cheater knows a cheater. And you know the
Oh,
cheater
so
out.
yeah.
So
I was, okay.
So that maybe I'm forced.
hello, I already said it in the first episode. I can't go back on
Yeah,
that.
we did make a fucking
So,
confess. Like,
shit.
she almost quit the show. Like, y'all
This
niggas making
show
me
bring
confess
them
shit.
I was like,
Shit,
now I
boy.
really gotta be part of this show.
She's committed.
No, but the point is like, if you are feeling more comfort talking to someone that you like recently met than your partner, then you're already getting to the lines and the waters of emotional cheating. I feel like. Yes, sir. That's how it's, especially for a woman. Because like if I'm on good terms with my boyfriend, right? I'm going to tell him everything, so be it. But if my boyfriend is asking sketching or like he's just like off and I start going and relying on someone that I may have met or like an old friend, just like relinking back, and I'm initially like opening up that door of esa confianza, then eventually it's going to be like, oh, let's go out for this. And then it's going to be like, oh, like I kind of like you. And like, oh, like my boyfriend kind of sucks. Like it's literally one leads to two and leads to three and then it's done.
All right, but that's okay.
So just talking to a girl apparently is
That's
gonna.
a process.
Not
That's
talking
a
to a
big
girl.
ass process.
It's not even
That's
talking to a
process.
girl. I don't
All
think
right?
so.
And first of all, as a guy.
Okay, but wait. From everything she said, though,
Wait,
where
wait.
was the line crossed for you? Everything you just laid out right now, where was?
See, 'cause that
At
shit
what
was-
point? That's what I want to know, because you gave a process,
Yeah.
but I want to
Yeah.
know where the line was actually crossed.
Like once your friend, it's starting to be more than just a friend.
But the process is different for everybody, right?
Yeah, like
Of course,
there's no,
different
So
circumstances.
So the process may have been somewhere on the third outing where you kind of felt like you liked the guy, and the guy might have liked you on the first outing.
Can we remind each other that this whole conversation is about people that are in a relationship? The second conversation that's been had with this person that this is happening or this is happening, yeah, that's it. Okay, you know what's gonna happen. We're adults.
that's what I'm saying. You gotta be real with it.
So
Pero
you
que-
know when you cheating. Nobody has
Claro,
to
porque
tell
Yo
you.
estoy buscando
Okay.
pecadito.
Ok, uno sabe, eso es lo que te estoy diciendo. Uno sabe cuando uno está pegando su cuerno.
Yeah.
Entonces.
And like
Cool.
it's like a natural feeling. You're like, yo,
And when
should I
you
be
went in
texting
there
this
with the
person?
intentions, you
For
knew that too. Nobody had to tell you.
Okay, why am I getting, or any man,
Hello.
any man on
We
this
can
earth,
backtrack.
right, saying that he's cheating because he leaves emojis, or because he leaves heart emojis under, I don't know.
And we had that
I leave a
conversation.
heart
We
emoji.
had the.
I'll get a conversation like, mira, ¿tú crees que yo soy pendeja, eh?
Didn't we have
Like,
somebody say that the
doing,
color of
like-
the heart emoji played a big deal too? Didn't we have somebody
Yeah,
say that?
but, okay,
Like you
but
gotta
how
send a
is that
yellow
cheating?
emoji because it's
So-
friendship. The fuck is that?
So I'm basically gonna get the same time,
Emojis are
right?
stupid.
As a,
They're just
as
not
a-
even words.
As a criminal,
Emojis are for people that can't type.
I'm gonna do the same 10 years for stealing a bag of chips and for killing someone, right? Same thing in a relationship. So if I leave a heart emoji, a mí me van a votar. But if I have sex with the girl that I'm leaving emojis to, a mí me van a votar como quiera.
But
So
that's flirting.
Yeah.
flirting is cheating?
Flirting
No,
is
I'm not
cheating.
saying. I'm not saying that it's cheating.
If you're
I
flirting
haven't
with the
defined it.
intention of continuing, like if you
Why
flirt
else
with
do
the
you flirt?
okay.
I think it's a problem
If
because
you
there's some
flirt with the
people.
waitress because you want her to give you extra soda, that's not the same as flirting with the girl that you work with that you know something might happen because your girlfriend isn't sitting at the same table.
No,
She
not
might
cheating.
give him extra soda too.
How is that cheating?
No, because
I don't
your
know.
girlfriend doesn't know that you flirting with your coworker, but
Si
she
se
sees
da,
you.
si se da, yeah, call it
Oh,
cheating.
si se da.
Pero si yo estoy tratando, it's a failed attempt.
It's still you had the
a
intention.
failed attempt at
You went
cheating.
in there
Well,
with all of your
you-
intention of
You
cheating.
could still get arrested
yeah.
for attempted murder.
My
You go to
man,
jail.
but it was a failed attempted murder. Like
You
I
still
shot
go
and
to
missed
jail.
you.
Still
How many
try.
times
Still
am I
go
gonna
to
get?
You
jail.
still try to kill.
I ain't trying to get the
You
same.
had every
yeah.
intention. That's why it's a
Listen.
bad thing.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, right.
Here we
It's all
go.
about the
Exactly.
intention,
Said
bro.
by
It's
a
all about the
female.
intention. It really is. If you and
I think it
you girls
starts-
can
it
agree with
stems
me
to
because
that.
a lot of girls go, "What is your intention with me?"
A swingar.
Right?
Right?
Right? And this is always go, "What is
Pero
your
que qué
intention?" at
más?
this point?
What
So-
else do you want me to? I don't have to be that blunt and be
It
like,
would
hey,
be
how you
nice
doing? My
if
name
you
is Blue.
did.
Yo estoy loco por echar un polvito contigo. No, I can't do that. but
Because
but
most
the
girls
thing
don't
is-
like that.
No, this is where you're wrong. Because
That's,
look,
I'm not saying all.
I
just
wish
most.
I wish Chicho was here right now. Like playing around me, I've said stupid shit like that to females, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, like I'm with it," and I'll be like, "Oh, well,
And now you don't know what to do with yourself.
shit, all right, all right, cool."
So
and
what?
it actually works, but this is my thing. It works out in the nightlife, bro.
Okay.
That work with them girls that's out there living life. That's not gonna work in the real world. Cuando tú quieres una mujer de verdad, de que para formar tu hogar, you're not gonna jalar a tu mujer. Hey, how you doing? I'm dying to build a future with you. But before that, déjame romperte ese culo, please. Thank you. Nah, she's gonna be like, get the fuck out of here. Because there's some other dude giving her flowers and saying it the nice way. Like,
Yeah.
it's same shit.
Well,
Chocolates.
Kamos alluded to something earlier about openness in relationship. And when we were building the show, Natalia had brought up the conversation that what constitutes being open-minded in a relationship? What does that really mean?
Yeah.
Yo.
Like, come into this relationship open-minded. So, I have my theory.
Okay, go.
But
You start.
Yeah, 'cause
What
I'm
what
not
what the
sure
hell
about
does that mean? Because that word I feel like is throwing. It's like being loosely thrown around, but no one knows the damn meaning of it. So it's like, yeah, I'm open.
like, I'm a guy. I'm automatically think you want to bring a
what
girl
does
to the
that mean
bedroom.
you?
That automatically means threesome for me. Like,
what?
that automatically means a threesome. Like, be open-minded. Like, you're open to
okay.
experiment in a relationship. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's where the guy's mind's gonna go. Like, a girl can interpret it different. Like, open-minded is like, are you open to doing laundry? I don't know what the, you know,
To me,
the
if you
mind
say I'm
works
open-minded
fucking
and I'm
different.
open to
Like,
chores.
Yeah, I would think
like a
it'd be
girl,
like,
a girl will tell her man, "Are you open-minded to doing laundry or some shit?" You know, we're just trying to figure. That's what we're trying to figure out. What the fuck does
de la
open-minded?
bolita del mundo.
There you go. So what does it mean to be
I do
open-minded?
all of that. I be holding my, like, if I gotta, mi mamá me enseñó to hold the crib down, like, para no tener que depender de una mujer.
Anybody in the chat, if you know what the hell it means to be open-minded in a relationship, drop a comment.
because
we
there's
tr-
open
Open-minded
relationships
is
and
being
then
down for
open-minded
Okay.
that I've never really had to.
Can I say that there's also, I think that there's a confusion here with open. And
Yeah.
Maybe somebody's considering the concept of swingers, where
That's
is that how open? Because if you go that open, then
That's an open
But that's being
relationship.
open-minded.
But what
No.
I'm saying is, no, because open-minded could be. Listen,
Anything you could be
all I'll say,
open-minded
this
to.
is the difference between men and women. I can tell you, we both can watch a porn movie, and we're actually watching two different movies at the same time.
We're watching it for the
You know,
plot.
so exactly. Whatever we're watching, they're not
Ah,
watching, right? So it's the same concept with emotions and definitions of words. Open-minded to a relationship for a woman means, okay, you know, I'll let him go to a club every once in a while on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Open-minded for us is
That's a
like,
good
yo,
point.
we're doing everything. You know, and
This is-
then, you know.
That's the
Point.
fact.
You
This
bring
is
up
true.
the
That's what I'm
fact.
saying. That's why I was making the joke that
'Cause-
open-minded for a woman would be if her man is open to
It's
doing
like-
laundry and fucking washing the dishes. That's what I'm saying. It
He's
constitutes,
he's open to gender roles.
Yeah,
different
exactly.
gender roles.
Exactly.
which is what the show is about. Good plug.
I've always been taught that to be open-minded is to just be open to things. Right?
So
So that's,
yeah.
being
Being
a swinger is definitely being open-minded.
That's be more than
More
open.
than
Open.
open.
Everything. That's something more than your mind is being open.
Let's spice it up.
Listen, you
Listen,
just
you
gotta
gotta
be
be
open-minded.
open-minded.
That's
That's
what
what
open-minded
open-minded
means
to me.
One of
One of us,
I
I don't think I doubt we both walk around thinking swingers. I'm pretty sure one of us was like, mira, vamos a tratar una vainita allí, and her being an open-minded woman, or vice versa. So like that's what being open-minded is. To me.
Yeah.
That has to be on both sides.
Pero claro, loco, porque yo no voy a estar pensando de que yo voy a estar rompiendo culo y mi mujer is just gonna be there watching. Ella va a querer que le rompan su culo también. I'm gonna have to swallow that pill, bro.
So yeah, you're gonna have to swallow that pill.
That's right.
Tranquilo, normal, but
Some dudes don't swallow that pill.
listen, man, I just, hey.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah. Welcome to Gender Blender, y'all.
So, okay,
Yes.
how about this? How would you feel if this is not like messing around now? Like you want to be with a person in a relationship, and they want to have an open-minded relationship per se, and you're discussing that. You're like, oh yeah, like, you know, we can go out by ourselves. Like, we don't have to be celando, like, you know, open. And they come out and they pull the card that what they have gathered in open-mindedness is that they have also been, or whether they can have a relationship with someone else, like intimacy with someone else. How would you feel on that? You look so cool.
Wait.
So, like, if someone legit,
You saw
this is
all
your
the guys'
partner-
faces on the table, right?
No,
Like,
I'm
This
just
is your
trying to understand,
partner.
Are you having that conversation with your boyfriend? Is the conversation, the concept coming from?
well, don't
no,
divulge
she's-
your personal.
not personal.
Not
Not
personal.
personal.
I'm
No,
saying in
not
general.
personal. I'm sorry.
Because
sorry.
is
In
this what you're
general,
dealing with?
the woman,
No,
the
I
woman.
meant that where's the conversation going? Is the guy telling the woman that, or the girl telling the guy that?
Well, in your case, whatever. Yeah,
Either
the
one.
girl.
She means
Because
either
if the
one
girl's-
because anybody can do it.
Well,
Yeah.
once again,
So how would you feel if,
If it
your
happened to you,
woman wants to have an open relationship in which, you know, you guys love each other, but if she's out in the club and something you know,
Oh.
someone comes up
Well,
and
we
she
gotta
likes
be
them,
open-minded. We gotta do.
how do you feel about that?
this is the thing, right? And this is what I'll say. I haven't had that conversation, so I really don't have experience with that. But what I would say is that what what I would know at that point is what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if we are having that conversation that I can walk into a club, mess around, I have to accept that she's gonna go into the club and she's gonna do what she's doing.
Right.
So at that point, I have to.
How do you feel about that?
Está difícil.
You know, it's a difficult conversation. Depends on the partner. Depends on the situation. Depends on the stage you're in at the relationship with the person.
Let's say this is like heavy duty. We are up to our stomachs in the relationship right now. We're like, we have a long time. Yeah. We don't have our toes dipped in. Like, we're now like high up there.
So
and
we're
so
talking 5 years, 3 years, 10 years?
let's say not even.
5
Let's
years.
say you guys
5
have
years
like
deep in.
a year, like 2 years.
Oh,
2 years.
That's commitment. That's
Well,
fine.
That's
Ya
enough
uno todavía
commitment. And
está
it's like
fajándose
early enough to have that
todavía.
conversation.
All right.
You imagine the
I
10
just-
years in.
I just
No,
don't
because
know.
10 years
that's
in, you're
not
like,
a-
all right,
You know
I'll
what's
do
the
it.
Ya
problem?
ustedes son hermanos.
At
Let's
2
say, like,
years, that's
early
something
enough.
that you should have known that this person was like this. So maybe they
See.
changed their mind and decided
Yeah.
they wanted to try this. Okay.
What, in
okay.
5
'Cause I was
years?
just thinking,
That's
wait,
what I'm
2
saying,
years and you just gonna tell me this now? No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Early on.
Yeah.
That needs to
But
be
this could something that this person just
Yeah.
In the
felt
handbook.
that
This
they
person
wanted
just
to
wants
try.
to try.
Once again, if it wasn't had at the beginning, yeah, it changes the dynamic. But also keep in mind, guys, that relationships are fluid. So sometimes you might be going through a stump or a period of tough times, and you come out on the other side, and sometimes you become more friends than lovers, right?
Right.
And then, but you have to stay together for whatever legal reasons or whatever complicated reasons you have. And
Like
then all of a
rent.
sudden- yeah.
No.
And then
Rent
now-
relationships.
Diablo, pero que
Now
ustedes
you're
no
like,
sirven, aquí.
No.
Hey, I don't love you like that, but we gotta, and then you gotta live. I'm just saying that I've seen that dynamic happen. The people live, and then all of a sudden they just live apart.
Any final thoughts?
I'm gonna be closed-minded.
That's it.
That's what I've come to
Blue's
agree
gonna be
to.
close-minded.
No.
One
I-
relationship.
Oh, you be open
That's
minded.
gonna be
Oh,
an
oh.
absolute
No,
no.
no. Yo
Okay,
no
no, I
voy a
totally
estar
understand your
aguantando.
point of view.
We're not doing
And
that.
yours as well.
You know what? I have been open-minded, but I don't really. It don't be with girls that I'm like, oh.
That's why, because you don't care.
Right?
If you're not in
Nah, I'm
it,
saying if you want to have,
Yeah.
if you're like
it's someone
emotionally
you
invested.
care about.
Not like una vainita de la calle. Like if you're emotionally invested,
Hey,
having a
pero que esa
conversation.
vainita de la calle a veces
But
amarran
if
a
you're
uno,
not having
mira.
that kind of open relationship with somebody who you're
Suelta
not
todo,
who you're emotionally invested with.
Oh no, because Jada.
The reason why I
Smith
brought
think
it
that
up,
they're in open relationship,
that
they
too.
marry and have 2 kids.
But I met a couple who started off that way, and they have years now, going on 9 or 10 years together, and they have a child now. So this conversation came up, and I'm like, shit. Like, what happens then? Like, are you still gonna have that same policy now that a child is born? Like, one of the partners is like, yeah, let's keep it up, but the other one is now like, no, now we're a family. Like, we need to shut it. So, just saying, this is one of the many topics that is going to arise in our society starting 2020. So just start thinking about it because it might happen to you.
Ah, yeah.
Now,
Or it may have already happened to some of our
Or it
viewers.
may have.
Ustedes no sirven, oíste.
as you
Oh,
guys,
Jesus,
Get ready.
as you guys have heard on the news in the past week, a deaf man sues Pornhub for lack of closed captioning. Funny that you
Dios
mentioned watching
mío.
porn earlier. What do you think of that? Like, that has to be the easiest fucking job. Oh my God, ooh, like what the fuck do you want to read? Like, imagine the guy just typing, I'ma come.
He's never heard
Es un
it.
vagabundo.
He wants to read it.
Oh, 4 or 5, yeah, like, how do you fucking edit? Like, who edits this? Like an O. What's the difference between an ooh and an ah? Like, 4 inches.
Like they are like Star Wars and Star Balls or whatever.
So they really edit.
Do y'all look? I'm not even saying nothing. I do understand this conversation constitutes for all of y'all to go to hell after this.
No, I think.
No,
I think
we're trying to.
Usted está buscando porno mudo, eh.
No.
No.
The news was that this deaf man sued Pornhub because of the lack of closed captioning in some of his favorite holiday films. So.
No, pero es verdad que los pajeros están. Ey,
Es un vagabundo.
ey,
He's right.
ey.
That is an example que hasta los pajeros tienen derecho aquí en este mundo.
But I just want to know, like,
Oye,
does he have a case?
Cinco o seis pajeros.
Hold on.
Because if he's deaf, he's never heard it before. So
But
he
he-
doesn't know what it's supposed to sound like.
but he wants to follow the plot.
Yeah, well, he wants somebody in a
closed
closed caption.
captioning.
He wants to know what let the guy to get his dick sucked. That's all. He wants to know what did he say. He wants.
Extra work, multitasking is a little
That's
hard.
because he wants. Okay, now I understand. He wants to not have to look. I don't know what he wants to do.
Missed that because I'm reading her lips.
You guys.
Because he doesn't know what it sounds like.
No need Jesus.
I think he does.
I
have
think
a
we
case.
just start adding those closed captionings.
Anyway, I'm gonna follow
And
this
then that
case.
way, when
I'm
you're
gonna follow
home
this
muting
case.
it, you could still know
Hey,
what
listen,
the hell he or she
I'm pretty
said.
sure we're about to start seeing porns with closed captioning in the
Yeah.
bottom from now on.
I'm gonna update you guys in
That's
this
called
case.
progress.
We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we got the Rick H Show in the building. The Rick H Show in the building with special guest coming up. Splu, take us out.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Guy sues Pornhub. That is.
No, he has a case. Watch it. It's like the guy with the.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. As tonight, every Tuesday, the dopest podcast on LMP.
We'll be right back in 2 minutes. Stay tuned. We'll be right back in 2 minutes.
Did you come here already?
Yeah, that was a backup cup. There we go. We got it. We found it. We found it. Oh, Danny has to speak through.
Oh shit.
Being in Joe. No, that's like.
We can, I put that
mine?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome to Gender Blender LMP, where we blur the line in the gender divide. As you can see, joining us at the table is the Rick H Show. We got Rick Hierro in the building. And before we start, Rick, who do we have to your right?
So, starting season 5 on March 31st, our brand new co-host, Benny's still on the show.
yeah, clarify that.
Craze Boogie is still on the show. But the main co-host will be myself, Benny, and Jayla Sandoval.
Yeah!
Who actually is from LMP, so I thought it was.
Yes, welcome
it was
back
a nice
home,
touch.
Jayla.
Welcome. No, I'm super excited. I have a few ideas. I know we didn't get to talk off air. The name changes, the Jayla show.
Oh,
some
man.
stuff like that.
Women taking over already.
Well, you know, we're
already
just
starts.
yeah. So no, but thank you guys for having us here and for having
No,
me
thank you for
here.
coming. You guys
I've
are
been trying
family
to,
here.
like, not make an announcement. I'm like, yo, how do I not make this like kind of like obvious?
Yeah, I didn't tag you in any promos. I'm like, I text you like, Jayla, this is what the promo looks like. You're just a silhouette. Oh.
By the way,
By the way, I love
Latinos
that
Out
too.
Loud.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Was that an actual picture?
Feel free to swivel that mic. Don't worry, there's insurance.
Oh,
Yeah, don't kill yourself. Swivel that
Latinos
shit out
Out
that
Loud
mic.
guessed that it was Jay. I don't know how. Juan, I got you. I don't know how you knew.
They're like $300. You bet $300. I was about to tell you, yo, I quit the show
I need
just so I could win
20%
$300.
of that
That's
300.
crazy.
Whoever got that 300, I need a cut off for that.
Me too. I mean, it was about me.
Was that an actual picture though? I didn't know.
No, that wasn't a picture. I found a silhouette, and it kind of resembled her. Like, it's crazy.
I literally, I was like, oh,
Crack that
I wonder
code,
who
huh?
did that.
Yeah, right?
So what we're going to do before we start the interview, we are doing a Mark Anthony ticket giveaway.
Oh snap!
So
Wepa.
we're up to word number 3.
Ooh.
So we're going to have Jayla give us the third word of
Okay.
the Mark Anthony giveaway. We're going to go ahead and pass that down. I meant to do that
I'm
earlier. But
about to give you the whole phrase now.
hey, yo, right? He does. I think he might know the phrase.
Él se atreve.
So, Jayla, whenever you're ready, this is the third word of the phrase for our Valentine's Day giveaway, and it is
With.
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 And Jayla's trying to figure out what the fuck is
Word.
going on
Yeah,
with.
I was like, with. I'm
With.
like, trying to read
So-
it correctly. I was like, is this a code? I'm confused.
So
With.
right now we have date night with.
Is that with a D or without?
WIT.
No,
Well,
but I think
if
that
you
was
want,
no,
Splu,
no,
Splu could give you the D.
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
don't
do
know.
with.
God.
Oh, ba-dum-bum. Yes.
I was just kidding. A mí no me gustan los hombres.
Este año.
Oh my God.
Tommy.
Tú coges un hombre hasta después del
Yo,
cuello.
Luke,
Tommy.
we got a We spot on the show.
He said- El papá de Splu dijo un hombre al año no hace daño.
Papi, mentira, yo no dije eso.
But back to the Valentine's Day giveaway again. It's date night with. All right? Date night with. We got 2 more words. February 4th, we'll announce the winner, and it'll be the last phrase. So if not, Natalia and I are going to have a fucking Valentine's Day concert. Yeah.
Mira,
That
tú y
was
yo
the
hablamos-
plot
tú y
all
yo
along.
hablamos de eso.
Después hablamos de eso.
Tú y yo hablamos de eso. Y tú me
Anyway,
lo llevas a mí.
we do have the Rick H Show in the building. Rick, I want to start with you real quick. As you know, we're a fairly new podcast. We started back in October of last year.
Nueve.
And you've helped us, so thank you so much. You've been helping us guide
Thank
us.
you, Rick. We love
Rick,
you.
and la
thank you.
familia.
Is it on? Thank you.
Yeah, so he's been giving us pointers.
I
So
feel like he's a padrino of podcasting.
he
at this
is.
He is.
He could be.
Hey,
Yeah, as a matter of fact,
hey,
can we
ese
say that?
You're
Brother
welcome.
Rick.
By the way,
Rick H.
merch,
Today.
all
Rick
proceeds
H.
from the merch goes to me.
Hey.
The Godfather of Gender Blender.
All right, great.
Rick H. Rick H. You're the Godfather podcast,
Best investment you ever made.
and you're the Godfather of
Jesus.
Gender Blender.
She is
Can we call him
coming
the
to
God? Can
kill,
we call him
boy.
the Godfather Gender Blender? Splu, Eric, can we agree? Godfather.
Justin, we
Gender
made a good
Oh, of
choice,
course.
right?
We absolutely.
Let-
Blender? Toma, un vaso de vino.
damn. ¿Y qué nosotros te hicimos, loco? Siéntate afuera, loco. Siéntate afuera, por favor.
So Rick, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Diablo.
Besides being a Met fan,
Coño, abusador.
A big Met fan.
what do you think about Jeter going into the Hall of Fame tomorrow?
I'm actually happy about it. He's not a unanimous Hall of Famer. I guess one guy didn't vote for Jeter.
Who's
So,
that hater? Who the fuck's that hater?
Wow.
I don't think.
PX.
Piece of shit, that guy.
So I like it. I don't think he deserved to be like a unanimous Hall of Famer like Mariano Rivera.
oh,
Yeah.
you.
He des-
Wow, the
no,
hater.
he deserves to be in the Hall, just not unanimous. I mean, if Griffey's not unanimous, then Jeter should be unanimous. That's just my
That's your
point.
opinion. That's the Mets fan opinion. Right? So good.
Nah, baseball fan.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, the word clutch was invented out of Jeter's name, but you know.
Yeah, it's nothing. Just,
It was a couple things invented out of Jeter's name.
All right, you know what? You know what? You're a fucking hater. That's who you are.
I
Rick.
speak facts about
Rick, siéntate
baseball.
afuera también con él, por favor. No, mentira. El padrino. Hey, señor padrino.
Padrino, señor padrino.
Wait.
So Rick, what got you
Like,
into when did you start podcasting? What got you into podcasting to begin with?
So, really
I feel like
quick-
he's gonna catch our. He's gonna put that mic over.
Really
He can-
quick, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Really quick. It's just like I'm like I don't want to be like all up on Jay. It was my brother, myself, and Paul. We started our podcast about 2.5 years ago on this actual iPhone, and we plugged one mic into that phone. We were in the office, and I wrote a script just like this, and it was just a sports podcast.
Wow.
Then I recorded 6-7 episodes, and before I did the first episode, I already had conversations with Justin. And then Justin was like, "Oh, you're doing the podcast, so let me film it. Let's do video." So we partnered up with Justin, and ever since then, it just started blowing up.
Now, how did you think of the name Rick H?
So
that was. Please tell us more.
wasn't-
Please,
oh.
yes.
Is
It's
that
called-
one of the questions you got written down? Porque te voy a romper el
It was obvious sarcasm.
Is the name is now the Rick A Show with Benny
Yeah.
Banks and Jayla.
Right. Good.
So
Oh, nice. And Jayla, you see
yeah,
through this.
so she's in there. The problem was, we were talking about doing a podcast for 8 months, and I already had done all the homework and I was ready to do it. But my brother and Paul weren't really that committed. So I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get the ball rolling. And I slapped that name on it. I didn't.
Yeah.
I had other names. They just were not good at all. So,
Right. And you thought
know.
Rick H was a good idea?
Well, the thing was,
Wow.
I
Hey.
used to.
I mean, he's like,
Don't worry.
we gotta roll. Yo, we're
My last
roasting
name
about
is
it.
Hierro, and I used to manage
No, stop.
music artists before.
Nice.
Me and Crazy Boogie. So I
Okay.
used to use Rick H before.
Nice.
And everybody calls
No,
me
it
H,
works,
so
yeah.
it worked. But it's a little. I didn't even want to be the star of the show or the main host or anything. I wanted to be behind the camera. I wanted to produce the show.
Right.
So as soon as I'm able to, we're working on 2 different other podcasts. As soon as I'm able to do that, I won't be in front of the camera anymore.
So you're
I'll
gonna.
just-
So the Rick H show is.
No, it's not gonna go anywhere. We're going into season 5.
Right.
We're doing the documentary right now, which
Thank you
Gender
for making us
Blender's
a part. I
of it.
appreciate it. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Rick.
It's gonna be. We're going into post in a couple months, and we're gonna try to put it in some film festivals. It's basically a documentary on podcasting. There's just so many different podcasts. You guys do one on Gender Blender.
Right.
It's basically different relationships and everything.
Gender
that has to
roles,
do with
everything.
Gender rules, everything. So you could do just a show on just that topic. So there's a sports one. There's the ones where they're whispering SMR.
Oh yeah.
So there's a podcast on
about
on feet.
when they go like this.
Excuse me.
Wait, there's a podcast where they whisper the whole time.
Yeah,
Yes.
Cardi B did one. Yeah, that AMR, SMR. that's what-
SMR.
Yo,
That
those
is
girls make so much money.
The most streamed podcasts besides Joe
That's
Rogan.
some weird fetish shit.
Joe Budden.
Now, does that have closed captioning so they don't get sued?
it's just weird. There's just-
crunch. You know, you gotta fucking. We
there's
might
a-
have to put subtitles on this damn show.
There's
so.
weird fetishes out there, and that's just one of them.
Wow.
We know we gotta put subtitles on Sploo. Fucking tirando Spanish.
Ahí va.
Everybody.
Yo no sé.
Yeah.
Yo no sé.
I gotta tell you this though. That man is instant content.
That is great. Yeah.
Instant
Diablo,
content.
hey,
I love
diablo,
that dude
Rick,
right
Why you
there.
think?
love
Why
that
you
dude
think
right
I hired him for
Rick,
pick
no
up?
me hagas-
Instant
no me
That's why I
hagas
hired him
eso.
for that pick up pollo that I paid
Yeah,
him.
look.
ever.
I mean,
No, wait, is there something wrong with this chair? Because I feel like every time a guy sits in this chair, they're like automatically like, in love with him.
Yo,
like,
Sploo, what did you do to
the
that chair, bro?
Yo, y'all better
is-
stop.
oh, I'm sitting in for.
He's
This is
talking
normally
about
where Manny sits.
besitos
So
and hugs, and now he's like, I
You know
love
what it is?
you,
It's
girl.
just direct eye contact with
Yeah,
Sploo.
What it
this
is.
is
It
this
is
is
what-
this
that's
is
what
where
it is,
Manny
that's what it
sits.
is.
So I'm here to give him.
Right,
Manny's not
Manny's-
here, so I'm gonna give him the love.
Manny's my
But
boy.
you guys are great. You got Cryptic hosting it. Karina I met today. She's the one that keeps las reglas going.
She
you know.
keeps the one check.
Yeah,
Ella es la mamá del
we
grupo.
like that. We like that. So then you got Natalia, very talented, and you got Manny, and then you got the comedian back there.
Yeah,
So,
we have
you know.
a great.
You have a
we-
great
we have a
blend,
group
so-
of people.
Thank you, sir.
And we're all
Blend.
equal, even though we're all equal in the chat. We're all equal. We all build the show, and that's what it is. We yes, like we produce the show. We all do everything together.
Yeah.
There's leadership roles, of course, but at the same time, there's times where
There has to be.
There has to be.
Imagine if my brother was the. My brother shows up to shoots 2 minutes before we start shooting.
yeah,
Doesn't read the script. He just does Benny. He's Benny. We let Benny be Benny.
Yeah.
But if he was in charge of the show, nothing would get done. Mid interviews, he'll stand up, go use the restroom. So
Oh, that's nothing. Mid interview, Sploos walks into the show, so we all have those.
Yeah,
you need that. Though. You need
We
that,
always
though.
got one, so we have our own Benny.
Yo vine pa' acá contento, tranquilo.
We're gonna call you Benny.
Wow, qué bien.
Wow. No, he's right here. My bad.
Oh, that's
Yo me voy.
it. No. Let's see
I'ma
what he's
put
had a
a
rough
Benny and
week.
I'ma leave.
He's had a rough week on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
So
It was MLK Day, bro, yesterday. How you have
Right,
it?
y
Like-
todo de
Mira, yo no fui a trabajar, yo no sabía que yo trabajaba.
that's it.
What?
I got called like halfway through the day. My boss was like, "Hey, I need you to get some files." I'm like, "What? I'm at my house." She's like, "You work today." I'm like,
Oh.
shit.
Everything's good? Like,
I mean, I got a floater, so I mean, work where
Now we
I'm
know why he's having a bad week.
So you said you started with sports. So what's your podcast based? Does your podcast consist of now?
we do.
Are you still doing sports?
We do sports. We have a segment called 10 Minutes of Sports with Rick H. Obviously, Rick H, yeah. So, but you could take my name out of it and just plop anybody else's name there.
Yeah.
So, that's just a side segment as part of the show we started at this year. The show is basically to highlight Black and Latino creatives. So, or anybody who's doing anything out of this world. Like, we had Oz Rodriguez on the show. We've had Manny Perez on the show. We've had Mark Lennon, who was a photographer on When They See Us. We've had, I'm trying to think, Andy Diaza, who works in advertisement. We've had Lucia Hierro, no relation. C's, who created the De Lo Mio sneaker.
There
the
was
mayor.
that was a controversy who created those De Lo Mio sneakers a while back.
There's no controversy. Cesar Perez from Queens.
That's right.
He made those.
Yeah. Give it
Somebody
up.
Somebody else was
the
trying
real-
to take
You
credit
know what?
though, I
You
heard that a
guys-
while back.
Yeah, there was,
But
but you know, let me just leave it alone because that's the same person. There is no
No controversy.
controversy.
That's cleared right
No
now.
controversy.
C's doesn't do interviews, and he did our show to set that
Good.
record straight.
Great.
So,
Perfect.
now we have Jayla.
Yes, now getting to Jayla.
Everybody was always like, "How come you don't have a female co-host? How come you don't have a female co?" It wasn't only women saying that. I was like, "Well, my brother, we've been together so long. Paul's my best friend. Then when Paul left, Craze took his seat, and I've known Craze over 30-something years. So like that chemistry is not that easy to create.
It's hard with multiple personalities. Like, you know, when you're doing a show, it's a lot of time, it's consistency, it's dedication.
It is dedication.
And it like everybody has to at least have that enlightened mindness. Like there's a bigger goal, you know, because once that starts happening and people stop attending or stop caring, the same sparks or the same, you know, situation. That's how real it was.
Yeah. So it's true. It's true what to say. It is a lot of work. Like I said,
it's a ton of work.
It's a ton. People see the product we put up there, but once I'm done with Tuesday's show, Wednesday I'm already preparing.
Yeah.
Ask them how many messages I send them. Like, I am active. I'm pretty sure they have me fucking muted on that chat.
No.
So
because
I feel your pain. We leave the show and I'm already doing editing, and Justin goes into the editing right away. But I booked 6-7 guests in advance.
Right.
But once we stop recording on Tuesday, I don't want to hear nothing about that episode. It's done, cut. We'll just drop it when it's ready. And then I'm already moving on to the next one. So Wednesday is the same thing. Like, oh, we got to do this. We got to do that.
Yeah, it's nonstop work. It's the people see the product we put every Tuesday, but it's a lot of work. A lot of work, a lot of investment behind the scenes. A lot of stress. You know, life is getting, you know, we've losing family members. You know, we're all going through personal shit. And that's what we use these 2 hours for, is to entertain people and, you know, just bug out.
That's a whole
But honestly.
And inspire.
Even us hosts are going through shit, but
well, can I share something positive then?
Go for it. Yeah, we need positivity.
So I've been married for 2 years. My wife and I are expecting our first baby.
Yeah!
Aquí lo dijo.
Dios mío.
In June, and it's a boy. So
nice.
Congratulations,
My
Rick.
daughter's a June
Thank
baby too. Look at that.
June 25th.
What's gonna be his name? Rick H.
No. No, it's not gonna be anything near Rick. I gotta wait. Maybe Craze.
That's
Baby Craze.
Craze H.
First name
Crazy
Baby.
H.
Craze H.
Crazy
First
H.
name Baby, middle name Craze.
That's dope. Congratulations.
Your
man.
wife will love that.
Congratulations. That's
First
amazing
name
news.
Baby.
Yes.
Thank you. I mean, it's 2020. Let's just try to be. Things do happen, and
Right.
it's hard, but try to be positive.
Yes.
Try to wake up with something that you look forward to, or
What's crazy is like
like a
Like a
bird.
yeah,
burger.
Oh,
Oh,
burger.
she's wicked. Yeah, yeah. She.
This is the thing today, right? One of my friends
Oh,
Ay,
has a
Dios
burger
mío.
joint.
is it
It's
the
the
same
one,
spot?
yeah.
Okay.
It's the
So
one she
it's
said.
the
We're
one.
going. We're going after the show.
Yo no
And
sé
so
pa'
that's
dónde que
like
yo
my
voy.
highlight of the day.
You're,
and
you're,
this.
so I'm your ride. So listen,
go
we
ahead.
could go to California, bro. We're
Tú
gonna end
ves
up in
como que a mí me
California.
involucran.
So after
Tú
this,
ves.
you want to party with us and eat some burgers?
Barepas on 149th.
No.
No, that's not where
We
we're going.
changed it.
Oh shit! Oh,
Uh-oh.
sorry, disregard.
New venue. I don't know the name of it, but it's on 188th and Broadway.
Tú estás cerca ahí.
Shout
that's
out
right.
to him.
Okay.
We all
Burger
going.
night.
That's the
Burger
after
nights.
party.
After party.
That's the burger. Yeah, look forward to something, man.
Yeah, look.
Wake up, like, if it's a fucking burger, if you wake up and that burger's in your mind, just be like, yo,
fucking segue.
yo, that burger. I don't care what happens in this train right now, but that burger, I'm gonna tear that shit up later. All right, burger for you. I get that.
That's
cool.
fucking
Hey,
great.
Rich, I got a question for you.
Yes.
And I got a
when you
positive message
started-
after this.
When you started your
Yes.
podcast, right?
Okay.
Did you envision?
By the way, he got a Barry. So I want to tell you, he got a
It's
nice.
a-
I'm telling you, the
I was like,
bromance.
oh,
I can feel, I can
whoa.
literally feel the interaction. Like, I feel it, and it's like
Tommy's sending him a breakup text right now.
You got a beautiful voice, man.
Ay, exploto,
Ya
lo va a
tú sabes,
quitar.
ya tú sabes. No, yo comparto. Yo,
I love your beautiful eyes and your
Thank
and
you.
your soul. I love your soul.
Walkiria
They're
in the
all
chat
romancing.
and Walkiria in the studio says congratulations, Rick, on the show.
Hey.
Oh, thank you.
there was you had a moment there, huh?
Yeah,
right?
they-
This wine.
Yo, there's a triangle going
Lou,
on.
I'm
bro.
back to you though.
No, for real.
We start
Did you
back at 1.
Are you where you envision taking your podcast right now, or is there still obviously there's still? But when you started this, did you think you would?
Are you going in the right direction?
We're going in the right direction. I'm where it is now. Super happy with it. I think goals are there, yes, but you also got to evaluate where you are in the current space. I'm adding Jayla to the show. That's a whole new layer. It's
Now I'm gonna start watching.
10 episodes. 10 episodes. It's gonna be on Triangulo TV. So it's
Nice.
like I forgot to mention that too. So
It's
it's
full of
like
news today.
Is he? Look at you.
it's just like
Breaking news. with
where
Rick
it is.
H.
The show is where it is to go to the next step. Yes,
Yeah.
but the show is gonna take a back seat for now while we finish the documentary.
Okay.
But you could podcasting, get into it. If you want to do one, do
Yes.
it. It's not that hard. If you want to hit me up, I'll give you some consulting. I'll tell
Dope.
you what apps to do. It's not that expensive.
Once you get rolling,
Once you get
it's easy.
rolling, you
The
just gotta be
hardest part,
consistent.
I feel, it's the consistency.
The
And-
consistency.
And that, for me, I'm in radio, so
Yes, we're gonna get into it. Yeah.
Everybody's always been like, why not you should have been podcasting 5 years ago. I've been being asked to podcast for years. I remember I started going to a Hispanicize conference, and one of their panels was all about podcasting, and everybody was like, yo, get on it. But it's so much consistency that there needs to be. And like you guys, I'm one of those people that I put a lot of quality in my work.
Right.
So it's really hard, especially being a one-woman show and being a single mom and,
Right.
going through your personal life.
And you're
stuff.
interstate as well. We'll get into
Yeah,
that as well.
yeah.
That's another thing we'll get into. Yeah.
So it's been so hard, but I feel like I've been asked so many times, and I'm just like, no, I just don't see, I don't feel
She
it.
said yes to us.
And I honestly, and it was almost in a heartbeat, because I came on to the show as a guest.
Right.
I know, you tira esas puyas. You're like, haha, so, you're looking for, joking around.
Yeah.
But then seeing the type of work that he puts in, that the team puts in, it's hard to find a team.
A team.
18 period. because again, like I said earlier, all the personalities, all the people got, I do this, I do that. I don't think I'm better than anybody
Facts.
on any team.
Facts.
I think that I want to find people that I want to work with that bring that same fire, consistency, and wants to see the bigger picture, wants that growth, and him and his team definitely do see that. So for me, I feel like it was just, I was like, you know what? This is the perfect opportunity. And
Right.
yeah.
And now she gets to add her segment, be part of the show.
And then she gets to change the name of the show.
Yeah, it's coming soon. We're working on it. But yes, you know, and it's not just like she's coming on to be a co-host. I'm gonna, when I do the bookings, when I do the writing, you know, she's gonna be involved in the process.
Yeah.
So
Same like our team, we're all involved in like every aspect of the show. Like I'm usually the one that sets up the program, but they're free to edit. I'm like, listen, this is what I got. Feel free to edit. There's always an edit. We drive Karina crazy.
Yeah, you want to hear.
Even this says revision. As you can see, our note says revision because somebody else revises. Again, I throw the show out there and somebody says, hey, maybe we should talk about this. And boom, all right, it's on the show. You know, so yeah, it's all a team effort. Nobody can do this on their own. I can't do this without them.
I mean,
I reached out to no, honestly, and it's true.
You can if you're doing like a
one-man show.
A one-man show, or if it's just two people.
But imagine gender blended with me, just putting a wig on. I quit those days already. You know, I just. I left that in the last decade.
You just came up with an episode.
I left that in the last decade.
You gotta do like an episode pre-recorded, you on that side, and then you.
Me doing everybody's role.
Yep.
Yes. You get to argue with yourself.
That's good.
You set it up nicely. But it's $1 billion business.
So you don't think the market is oversaturated? Everybody has room to be a podcast.
It kind of is, but if you're like Apple Podcasts, if you go to Apple, right? I think it was Juan Bago, I think, said this on Aquí Chilling. He shout out to Latinos Out Loud and Aquí Chilling. Juan Bago said that Apple Podcasts is like the graveyard of podcasts. You'll go there and you'll see a bunch of podcasts and it's like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah.
So it's not saturated if you put in the work. Like our first 15, 20 episodes, I wasn't like 1,000% like, yo, these are amazing. These are spectacular. But I continue to, like, I'll do an episode. I'll see where we need to improve. And we just kept going from there. Just be consistent, have great content, and have a great team around you.
All right. Now let's get to know Jayla a little bit.
Yeah.
So Jayla, let me tell you something. I met Jayla a while back when I was doing stand-up at Brown Sugar.
Yes.
She complimented me. Yeah, that's where we know her from when we were doing the competition. She said I was her favorite, by the way. I'm just going to let you know that. So Splu and I were in a competition. Believe it or not, Splu and I were in a comedy competition. But yeah, after the show, Jayla was just talking. She's like, oh, you were great. Your comedy was great. And like, we started following each other on Instagram, and I found out she was like a radio personality. But she has such great energy. And Natalie, we believe in great energy. So she's such a great vibe. So that's a great addition to the show, by the way.
Thank you.
So tell us about your start. We know you started here in LMP. So it's this almost like home for you. What do you think about the studio, by the way?
Welcome back home.
It's weird. Because I mean, I've been.
We used to be on the other side.
I used to see I've seen the progression of LMP. I mean, I was one of the Miami chapters, like originator, DJ Bergu.
Right, you're originally from Florida.
Yeah,
Okay.
DJ R1, all the boys out there. It kind of just started as, you know, I was interning, I was doing a bunch of stuff, I was volunteering at Billboard, working a bunch of things, and the opportunity came with LMP, and I was living in Florida at the time. I'm like, yo, whenever the DJs come from New York, like, I got it. Like, I'll take them to the clubs. Like, I got this. Like, I love this. Became one of the members. Then I decided, fast forward, moved to New York for the first time when I first moved here. And that's when we were doing LMP radio. And I remember doing LMP when they had their basement studio in the Bronx, like years ago. And then they opened their first offices uptown. Okay. So I started there, and I was actually DJ Linda Everything A-Bar. She passed me the torch because she was a DJ on the show with Jinx Paul.
Okay. May he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace.
R.I.P.
My big
Jinx
brother.
Paul.
Like, I literally walked in, and I'm like, hi, Papa. I'm like, it's so weird to be here and not have him.
Yeah.
You know, and he was actually one of the first people to give me that opportunity, the bigger opportunity to do a show. So Jinx Paul and I actually had a show together on LMP radio. We started with a lot of, you know, different artists, and he was on La Mega. I was on X at the time when I first moved to New York in 2012. And it kind of just went from there, and I kept kind of pursuing my career in radio. Took me to La Mega as well. I was with Jinx at La Mega for a little bit. I worked with Alex Sensation.
Yeah.
And then we kind of just fast forward from there. I've worked with iHeart, so many different people. And, but yeah, LMP was kind of the beginnings of what Jayla and radio really was.
Yeah. Did you always want to do radio? What was your inspiration growing up? Did you want to be a vet?
I used to be a preschool teacher.
Really? Oh wow. She's a teacher too.
I was a preschool teacher.
When did it click that okay, I'm tired of buying crayons and markers and
damn.
I want to
never get tired of buying crayons.
Never. I still like buying crayons.
Exactly.
So yeah, when did it click that you wanted to be? Because we had a firefighter here last week. And we asked her when did it click that she wanted to be a firefighter. She said she just rolled into it after she was an EMT. So, what clicked? What made that career change from teaching?
For me, the career change came in the fact that I think I've always known that I've always been obsessed with music, especially with my dad. My dad always grew up putting all the windows up while he changed the oil of the car, and the music was blasting from the inside of the house while mom cleaned. So for me, I grew up with a lot of just music in general, but there's two things that I cannot do for the life of me: sing and play any type of instrument. And I knew that. So I was like, how am I going to be in music?
Season 5, she's going to sing on our
Listen, I do a mean lip sync, car karaoke. My followers be knowing that. But let's keep the volume up during those moments.
Okay.
The off-keyness is real. But no, I always loved music. I knew I wanted to find some way to give music to the world, and I can't sing, I can't play instruments. So obviously I'm like, what can I do? I'm not gonna DJ. I can't do
fucking records.
So I would I remember listening to the radio every night, waiting to hit that record button, waiting to hear what was at that time in Florida, one of the bigger stations. They played something called the Power Love Hour. So every night it was 1 hour of sexy. It's this is from Karina to her husband, and they love you. And then they play some R&B
Delilah
songs. Yeah, but they would play it with urban music.
Like this is from Splu to Tommy.
Yeah,
type of shit. Yeah, right.
I love the way you hugged me today,
You know
baby.
what? Ustedes van a hacer que yo me enamore de Tommy de verdad.
Yo, we got a Valentine's Day concert. Tommy's eligible to join the Valentine's Day concert.
I wanted you guys doing a Valentine's Day giveaway.
Correct.
For Valentine's Day, if you do not have plans for Valentine's Day, make sure you call up White Castle. Get your reservations now.
Yo, they do this every year.
Hold on
You
a
heard.
For single people only?
No se rían. It's true. If you Google it.
It's true.
Un mantel in the mesa. They give you a little menu, table size service, little sliders, little hearts. White Castle. I think that you should
That'd
include
be cute for little
White
kids, high
Castle
schoolers.
as the-
Mom,
as
I'll take
the
you out
add-on,
after.
the dinner after the.
Because we are trying to figure out a dinner
Yo, that's
location.
hilarious. But yeah, no, fast
White
forward,
Castle.
I think for me, it was just super simple. I didn't know what else to do. I would listen to the radio. My mom couldn't always afford, my parents couldn't always afford to buy me a stack of CDs and to buy all the new equipment or whatever it may be before Napster and LimeWire and all that came out. So radio was my escape. It was my time. So one day I literally woke up and I was like, how am I going to be, how can I do this? How can I get on radio? And I don't have anybody in my family, any people that I grew up with that I could say was like, hey, help me get on the radio. How can I do? Everything was like, okay, how do I do this? How do I break this to my parents?
Yeah.
Because I'm Central American. So
Yeah.
my Salvadorian, traditional mom and all my aunts that live down the street.
Yeah.
And my dad, being Costa Rican Salvadorian, it was very okay, how am I going to break this to them? How is this going to work? I literally took them to a public restaurant. They're like, why are you taking me out to
Because
dinner?
I want
What
witnesses.
did you do?
I want
Witnesses.
witnesses.
I'm not trying to
Witnesses.
die.
You
And
know
then
what it
even
is?
then,
You waiting for your daughter to be like, I'm gonna be a lawyer, I'm gonna be a doctor.
Yeah.
Papi, yo quiero ser DJ.
Yo voy para la radio.
yeah, I'm gonna be on the radio for the rest of my.
Well,
And I
well,
remember
well.
my mom's reaction, which is I still till this day. Her reaction was, "Ay, mija, va a ser como Lindsay Lohan,
Oh, wow.
una drogadicta alcohólica que solo pasa en la calle." She didn't lie. her fears
Damn,
came true.
Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, that's just that. She
But
kinda-
at that time,
that's
Lindsay
crazy.
Lohan was all over
I think
Primer Impacto. She was like the party.
That's
girl
what I
at
say.
the
Like, how
time,
did your
like,
mom know about Lindsay? Damn, Lindsay Lohan se fue
Listen,
pa.
when
She's
When your
doing
Spanish
good now.
parents know, yo,
when it
that's
gets
when
to
you know
Primer
you're-
Impacto, you
She
know
got her
it's
life
real
together
news.
again.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Real news.
That's-
But you know, I had to grab their hand and I had to
Lindsay
be like,
Lohan
yo.
got bread.
So you went to school for it and all that good stuff?
So we made a deal. I
Okay.
went to broadcasting school.
Great.
But the deal was I had to stay in my traditional college. So I would work 3 jobs. I was still doing
And go to
nanny,
2 schools.
preschooling, daycaring at a gym at 6 in the morning. Like I would be the little teacher at the LA Fitness, and I would open the gym, close it, run in between classes, go pick up another job, and then go to broadcasting school.
So
at
you're going
night.
to 2 schools, 3 jobs, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah. So I had to do all of that to prove to them that I was serious about this,
Right.
that it was something that I didn't want to just like, oh, me levanté hoy and now you just want to do radio. And like my brother, when he wanted to become a DJ, $5,000 investment, that the equipment's probably still rusting in my dad's garage. Like,
That's cool though.
You
You
know?
can still make money off
Yeah,
that.
you can still do it.
yeah, no, I'm
Sure.
keeping that for my vintage collection at this
There you
point.
go.
Do it. Wow.
But no, so that, I mean, that's how it happened. And it's been 12 years since, and I've been
Nice.
just kind of pushing through and not giving up, and like just trying to navigate the waters blindly and dragging my whole family with me. Like,
And where can we hear you on the radio? That's what we want to know. Where can we hear Jayla on the radio?
so I
Plug
just
it.
got back.
Plug it. Huh?
I just got back 3 months ago. So
Yes.
I was in Florida. They got
You
a
were in
phone
hit-
call.
You were in the hits, right? What was hits?
Yeah, hits 97.3.
I listened to her. I downloaded the app. I support it. Yeah, I would tune in. She was great. So.
It was top 40
You
station.
can
Yeah.
listen to her on the Rick A Show, season 5.
You
Live
heard?
March
and live.
31st.
There you go.
2020.
March 31st.
Right now I'm on Que Buena, La Que Buena 92.7. It used to be a regional Mexican
Es tu
station.
chica Jayla.
Yeah, I've heard
That's
her.
everybody's favorite
that's
line.
That's the
Es tu
chica
chica
Jayla.
Es tu chica Jayla con todos los éxitos.
Tengo
Vamos a ir a Rake ahora.
Y cuando vuelva tengo un par de boletos para
I love
Aventura. It was great. I love it. It's like I love her advertisement. When you do your little
It's a
snippets.
switch though. like,
Yeah, it's amazing. It
she
is.
does it,
It
like,
is
quickly.
magic. Like when you were in Florida, like I would always see your story and you would post like your advertisements, and that was so cool. She would be one take. Like when you would do your
Oh,
advertisements.
my
your
spots,
voiceovers, yeah,
yeah.
it was like one take. Like this is magic.
It takes me a little bit longer now because now they're all in Spanish. So
Yeah.
I'd be like, did I say that right? Like, and my
Man,
Spanish
listen,
is pretty good. But
There
I
was a
had
couple
to.
of times I wanted to call in the Windows Disney World tickets. I'm telling you, she would. I'm like, can I
Damn.
fucking win that? It was good stuff.
So I could call in and try to get these Mark Anthony tickets.
You already know half the phrase.
I
might
was
as
gonna
well.
say, isn't the phrase on
I'm
there?
telling you, I'm surprised. No,
I actually know the phrase.
Yeah.
the
so.
phrase.
He actually knows the whole phrase. So.
So no, I mean it wouldn't be right. Because
No,
people are
wouldn't.
gonna be like, "Oh, that's Cryptic's boy. This
Yeah.
is not a real contest."
Yeah. But no, it'll.
I do
No,
it.
but my wife loves Mark Anthony though. So
Yeah. So.
So tell her to sign
I
it.
will. I will.
Si te veo
All you
en
gotta
Marc
do is
Anthony,
follow the page, tag 3 friends, and know the phrase. That's
There
it.
you go.
That's it.
Follow the page.
But anyway, we're gonna keep it moving on. The Rick H Show. Thank you so
Yes, thank you.
much.
Thank you
Thank
guys
you
for
for
having
having us.
Thank you for being here, Godfather, the Godfather.
The Godfather.
So that doesn't make Jayla the godmother.
El
You see what you
padrino del
did?
podcast.
El padrino del
Anda el
podcast.
dia- Oh, it's in Spanish.
Tiene que,
Mejor.
yeah,
There
el
you
padrino,
go.
because padrino sounds more like, ugh.
Más
Like,
fuerte. Like, you can smack somebody and then
Maduro.
just take it.
I like it. The podcast.
Bájale,
podcast
bájale,
padrina.
que tú
Hashtag,
estás
new
caliente hoy.
hashtag. Merch coming out soon. Jayla
Merch
gets
coming out
10%.
soon.
Yeah. So when is the
Reporting live from the Trap House.
one last time? Where can we follow you guys? Where can we follow the Rick A Show? Where can we follow
The
Jayla?
Rick A Show it's The Rick A Show on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, therickashow.com. We do have a website, The Rick A Show on YouTube. We record on Tuesdays at the
Yes.
Monkey Room at 8 o'clock. We do record in front of a live audience, so you're more than welcome to come, have a seat, watch us do the show. I think that's it, right? There's nothing else.
At I am
Alright,
Jayla, double I.
Jayla.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Don't forget to put the captions on.
We're
it,
on
though.
Spotify.
Yes,
want
I,
me to-
yes. I don't want to get
No.
I don't
sued.
want to get sued.
I'm
now.
just
Sure.
listen. You already gave me ideas, so I'm gonna start looking out for things. Like y'all don't have a closed caption. Excuse me, I'm offended.
So yeah.
We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, there's a transgender doll controversy in Europe,
yeah.
and we'll
Wait.
have Splu's news. So Splu, take us out. We're gonna talk
Yeah.
about a little bit about that when we come back. Transgender doll.
I'm gonna start a thing for that closed caption.
Yes, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming back with Sploo's News. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We will be back in 1 minute. 1 minute. Count time starts now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to Gender Blender. You know, I was gonna do a Sploo News, but I don't want to do a Sploo News.
Switch it, let's go.
Yeah,
What we got?
What we got?
What's
What's
up
up so
What's
mellow,
going
bro?
on?
What's going on? Tommy's back in the
bro.
seat, bro. You sound like
Es que Tommy me pone
What you got?
What you got for
Story.
story?
You know, I was thinking, like, why we all got, like, trust issues and just all types of problems in life. And I think it starts from little, right? With our moms. Like, we was talking about this in the car. Like, you see, for example, I would trust a soul. And just the other day, I was with a friend and we were, like, talking about, like, core issues. Right? What's your core issue? Why don't you trust women? Why don't you trust this? And I realized I don't trust my mother. And that's where it all starts, right? No,
Damn.
You don't trust your mother.
it can be mamacita fresca. Like, my mother's not been a person. You know, I was saying that earlier. Like, my mother let everybody know when I started masturbating. Like, she told my whole family. I don't even know how the conversation came up.
Yo, Pat, I think
Bro, I was like 13, me picaba like this, man. I'm discovering my shit. I was just hearing my mom, muchachos, Blue tiene toda esa poloche seguro por ahí. And I was like, damn, like, you know how embarrassing that was to see my uncle, pajero,
You know what I think? I think it's a lot. I think that's like a lot. You know, like my mom has embarrassed me plenty of times. Come here, have you had an experience where your parents embarrass you?
All the time.
But that's
Give us an example.
that shit developed trust issues.
Yeah.
Oh, fulana ya mató el chivo.
Ya llegó la luna.
Well, first of all, what does mató el chivo mean?
It means you got your period.
You Dominican.
What did you think I was?
Probably one of the Dominican. Ay, Karina mató el chivo!
Yeah, I'm Dominican. I was born in the Dominican Republic. I'm Dominican.
I would never forget when my little sister got her period. Shout out to Jula.
Shout out. Yo, what kind of shout out?
Right? She probably like,
By the way, shout out to Martina. We got Martina. She's one of the loyal viewers every week. It's good to have her in person.
Did you say how much of a beautiful smile I have? No? She's not alone.
So keep going.
Haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, so I'll never forget, like, when my little sister got her period, my mother told my aunt, like, la levantó a las 7 de la mañana. Mira, muchacha, déjame decirte. No, I'll never forget, I was eating Apple Jacks. Fucked up my whole Apple Jacks experience. Because Apple Jacks te vuelve la leche en media hora. So I was just there fucked up my Apple Jacks. I couldn't even catch up for weeks. I was all fucked up. But why I don't think parents understand. Like, we're supposed to trust our parents.
Right.
Like, our trust from, like, you know, like we want to tell somebody that, yo, I want to trust this person the way I trust my mom. But I don't think there's a person that can say that.
You know how many times I was promised McDonald's and I had one Yo sufrí mucho. You know, there's not getting that Happy Meal.
I feel bad, yo. My mom still, she always promised Disney World, and I'm like,
Yeah, you still
I'm
go
like,
to.
Mom, I'm gonna take you to Disney World.
You're gonna have to take
I'ma
your mom to
take you.
Disney World. Like,
Shit, right?
My father told me I wasn't going to Disney World.
that's at least he was. She said,
He was straight
"Don't
up.
paga bill aquí."
You got Disney World money?
Yeah, no, that's another thing.
I told my mother, "You got BJ's money?" Because like she wants to go to BJ's. Like, you got BJ's money? Yeah. Buscame una tarjeta. No, I don't go to fucking BJ's.
Yo que sea mi mamá la dejo al frente.
Espero
Mami, no hay parqueo por aquí.
$3 $50
I just
I
want to say
that's actually a pet peeve I have in New York.
What? Oh, you got the
everywhere you go, if you go to a mall, you gotta pay.
Oh yeah, they're
parking.
from New Jersey. We forget they're from Jersey. Yeah, we got everywhere you go. You,
Yeah,
pay.
yo, that gets me aggy.
You pay an extra tax for your driveway too when you have a house in New York. Or something else. You gotta pay extra or something. Something like that. You pay extra for that little curb. Yeah.
in New York.
Well, you gotta pay to get the curb. To cut the curb. Pay for that. That's
Look at what niggas were talking about money, right? Money talk, man. I can't even join this conversation. I'm trying to rant.
But listen, I got an embarrassing story that's really gonna make you laugh. And esto era en Santo Domingo. I was like 15 years old, pretending I was 18.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, yo, so I meet this girl, and I'm like, yo, baby, what's going on? I'm 18, and I'm running the world. You know? Then my older cousin comes in and says, you know, this boy is just 15 years old.
Mierda, que
Adelante todo
tumba
el mundo en el
polvo.
party. Mira, a mí se me cayó el alma, el corazón y todo. Yo tuve que recoger todo eso y salir de ahí porque la vergüenza no la aguantaba.
No, ¿y quién se va a quedar?
Imagínate.
No, yo voy a ser un charlatán y me saco el ripio. Sí, pero mira lo que hay, ¿oíste? ¿Qué va a hacer?
You
Yeah.
suck.
15, but I'm carrying.
So it's Blue. So
I think that's when we all develop our first issue.
Trust
bring
issues.
up a
That's a
good
good point, though.
I mean,
No, for real.
I feel like if a child has had or seen a lot, even like in the relationships of your mom and your dad, like, ¿cómo te explico? I've seen that a lot of my friends, and myself included, that come from a household that's not like of two parents, but like a single mom and a single mom who may have struggled in the relationships, like, you start doubting men, like, yo, men treating my mom or like they weren't consistent, so like I gotta keep an eye out because shit, I don't want the story to repeat itself. So I agree with you in that sense.
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do trust issues come from the parents. I agree.
I agree.
There's some. They fucked it up.
Did I say something right?
You did.
Yeah.
Yo, I was having a real shitty day today.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
What happened? Oh, he hasn't said it. He hasn't said it in a while. He always says it.
You know what? I'm
Fine.
He said he was having a rough day today. Rough week on Tuesday.
You guys made my week.
Tomorrow's even gonna be better, bro. We got invited.
Yes, I got caught up.
We got invited next week. Yeah, right. That'll fucking help. We got invited to a luncheon for the premiere of Los Leones, which is a great movie, Dominican movie. Yes. Que Leones, Que Leones.
Now we are.
Has Raymond and Miguel Osuna in it. A tu edad va a seguir. Raymond was a great.
We still don't know if we're gonna watch the movie because there's lunch on, but hopefully we are.
I think we're gonna watch the movie. I think they're gonna show the movie.
Yo, I hope so.
No, van a invitar.
I don't think so because the
Tomorrow.
premiere is the next day.
But they'll show it to us though, I think.
But
No?
that's the whole point.
Something in Brooklyn.
We might see it. We don't know the details, but we're gonna show up. We're
Well,
gonna
it comes
represent.
out on my birthday.
Yeah, that 24. Oh, we got another birthday to
We got
celebrate,
another birthday to celebrate.
and that's Friday.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 21.
So that means
So you gotta be 21.
that means that we should
That's
do a
dope.
Thursday Tilila celebration.
Ooh.
With Natalia on the mic.
Yes.
On the congas.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Blue making all the girls.
Are you taking your birthday off? Are you taking your birthday off or not?
I don't
From
work on
work?
Fridays.
Yo, so we doing Tilila on Thursday.
Okay.
So y'all all formally invited this
Tilila
Thursday.
this
Yes.
Thursday.
This
I am
Thursday,
posting the
Tilila.
flyer.
Dang. Anybody who wants to come through and buy me a drink, feel free.
The official birthday bash for K Mosa is at Tilila this Thursday.
Facts.
Oh, God.
This,
Where's
We
the
start
They
at
have
10:30.
valet parking.
and they have valet parking, so you're still
Which
gonna have
is
to pay,
why
but
I
at least
can
you're not
go
paying the
there.
city. You're paying a
Yeah,
man
true.
who's trying to feed his kids.
Yeah, it's
There you go.
parking.
I like
Bring
to
one
say,
car.
We can
I'm-
valet. What
All
do you
right,
call
no,
it? We
no,
can.
we'll figure it out.
It's gonna be a great vibe. You're gonna love
What's
this.
that word?
Sprue's gonna be there.
Cool.
Spru,
Spru,
you
we're
going?
all gonna be
Yeah.
there. Oh, we all have to
Yo
be
no me
there.
pierdo un party.
Hopefully
Oh,
Manny
no,
could be
no.
there. We know he's in mourning, but you know, I mean,
Manny no va a estar ahí.
Manny no va a estar. But you know, he's invited, but we can't celebrate. We know how Latinos are the 9 days.
You know
but-
what?
Well,
You know what? I might not be there.
Shut
Oh,
up.
you know what? If you're not gonna
Splooge,
be
you
there,
just
I'm
set
not
up. You just made the party. You're not gonna be there. It's like what he did last week. He started trouble with our guest co-host. Karina, not trouble, but they got into a heated argument that he started.
No, estas mujeres se sacaron
No,
machete, granada y
but
vaina.
yo, then he went quiet for the rest of that whole conversation. I'm gonna play.
Natalia,
You weren't gonna play that video back for you. He asked one question.
Y yo
Y
soy
yo soy
pendejo,
pendejo, esa mujer estaba como, oye,
Like two
like two cats, like this.
Remember last week he was talking about breaking down man, breaking down man.
Oh,
I don't even know where the fuck this came from. All I know is
That's-
that
that-
But he
that's
started
my
it. He
girl,
lit the match.
Juicy Jane.
Juicy Jane, shout out to Juicy
all
Jane.
I know is that Splu said something and she said something and I disagreed.
Again, guys, if you're tuning in right now and you missed it, I'm gonna be nice to you guys. The word of today was with. So far, the Valentine's Day giveaway is date night with.
Date night with.
Date night with. Date night with.
Natalia and
Cryptic. Those are the last two words, Natalia and
Okay,
Cryptic.
Natalia and Cryptic are not taking the tickets for themselves.
No,
You guys
they're
need to
not.
stop that.
But if you want to invite
we're
me,
not.
I'm just saying you can.
Yeah. So
If you win, Natalia, it's free that night.
we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna bring it up. We're running low on time, so we're gonna bring it up with K Mosa gives it to you straight, and we have a question. Put her on. As a matter of fact, yeah, put her on because we're gonna do this right. So while you put her on, real quick, while he finds the graphic, what's going on with this transgender doll and this? Listen, I personally think okay, we're gonna leave it up there for a second, but I just want to bring this up real quick. No, but jefe.
¿Ustedes van a pelear?
Bueno. We got 3 minutes while he brings up that graphic.
Quick, go.
So what ended up happening was, I'm gonna give my opinion on this real quick. I disagree with it 100%, and I'll tell you why. But K-Moss, I'm gonna let you speak. But then I give. But go ahead. Go. What's going?
I have a problem because transgender is a sexual thing.
Right.
Just like being homosexual, it's sexual.
Right.
Children should not be sexual.
Exposed to
beings.
sexuality at.
Children are children. If your child wants to wear a skirt and he's a boy, that's fine. That
Perfectly
doesn't mean
fine.
that when he grows
not
up,
fine.
he's going to want
No, I mean, you may not agree with it, but there's
that's
people that know it's
okay.
fine. That's okay not
Just
to agree
like
with
if
it.
your son wants to play with a doll, I don't think that's a problem because guess what? He may be a father. And playing with a doll will tell him how to be tender.
That's a good point. But she has a good point.
A dress.
Well,
But what's wrong with wearing a dress?
It's just clothing. It's the same thing like when your 5-year-old
Oye,
wants to
hay
dye his
cosas.
hair purple.
All right, look. My
Go for it,
father,
go ahead.
let me tell you, my father was not like DK. He was. But he never brought that on me as a young child. DK, okay, eso es de maricón, whatever. But what he did was he specified to me que era para hembra y que era para varones. ¿Tú me entiendes? So I'm
Yeah, he
pretty
expressed the
sure-
gender roles.
I'm pretty sure, and I don't remember my dad being like, oh, tú estás de maricón or whatever. Like, después de adulto, my father would use those terms loosely, but ya era vaina de estúpido. But as a child,
I had sisters.
And
there was times that, I remember my sister had like a Barbie video game. And I really took a liking into it. And my dad was just like, oh, ¿por qué no te gustan los juegos tuyos? Mira, tú tienes Barbie y cosas. And I was just like, oh, okay. And he was just like, mira, eso es para la hembra. Eso es para las hembras. ¿Tú me entiendes? Mira, tiene su Barbie, la Barbie son para las hembras. Los Transformers, los G.I. Joe y vaina, eso es para ti. But he never, and I just grasped onto it. And I'm pretty sure though, if I would have like, I don't know, started liking playing with dolls. I don't know.
But
They came from a different generation. Okay.
Let's I understand, but Sploot, this is where my take is on it. Like, if my daughter's a tomboy. You see my daughter, real pretty, real dressed up. She's a tomboy. Like, I'm gonna love her regardless, whether she likes boys, whether she likes girls. I always tell my daughter, I don't force it. But my daughter knows what it is to be a lesbian. My daughter has lesbian friends who identify as lesbians at 13.
Unfortunately, yes.
You understand? So that's not a problem. I let my daughter know the first time my daughter saw two men kiss on the subway, which she experienced it, she said, as any other kid would say, is ill, right? At 10 years old, ill. She would say that if a man and woman kissed. But she was trying to process why she saw two men kissing in Times Square when we were going to Times Square.
That's me.
So I had the conversation with her, and I explained to her, this is fine. Those are two people that love each other, just like a man and a woman love each other, a woman and a woman. I had to have that conversation. Because once they start asking, and once they're exposed, this is always going to be in the back of their mind, because they might not think about it every day.
Can I add on to
Go
you
ahead.
too? I mean, and I want to applaud you, first of all, for
thank you.
having that open-mindedness.
Yes,
when it
right.
comes
We
to
spoke earlier.
parenting,
Yeah.
looping it all back. But I feel like, okay, this is the thing. I think about, I'm not trying to have kids anytime soon.
Okay.
But
Careers.
Yeah. But the time that I do, I realize, like, yo, most of my friends are gay. Like, and I have a lot of straight friends, but a lot of my close friends, like, they're gay. And
Splu's your close friend. I'm just her friend. You're her close friend.
I hate you.
And what I'm saying is, like, these are people that care about me so
Right.
much, and they're gonna be part of my life. Like,
Absolutely.
It won't. Like, I want it to just be there and open, and like, it was weird to me, frankly, that male dolls were like
Asexual.
didn't have nothing.
And
I was like, what the
yeah,
hell
they were
is
not.
that?
The
And
term
so
is
that
not
made me-
anatomically correct.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is that?
Well,
And so the doll doesn't bother me so much.
Wait,
like you
this
can
doll?
explain it.
What, this doll?
Yeah.
Really doesn't
I
bother
don't
you?
really care about it.
But why doesn't it? But don't you think that? Okay, this is where I have the problem. I understand.
Because that's about a conversation. Like, of course, the child is gonna gravitate towards whatever it gravitates.
Well, of
if
course.
it happens to come across a doll, fine. You explain it. Like,
But what?
we were talking about in the car. There's some people that are born with two
Hermaphrodites.
right, two sexual parts.
That's
Okay, I could
not-
explain
that's
that,
not
and then I could
true.
also
You
explain
just
the
But this is
following.
okay. But this is okay. But this is being sold as a transgender doll, not a hermaphrodite doll. You understand?
But I think that okay, then fine. I
Because
was a
this
teacher,
one just
right?
has a penis. This one doesn't have a vagina. It's just a
I
penis.
could. This is
It's
the
a
thing.
penis on
There's
a
some
on
kids.
a girl doll.
Okay.
I think it's
With a dress.
something with jazz. It was like a show about a girl. You remember? Something jazz. And like she became pretty popular because she was a child that was she was
she was born a boy and
transgender.
she turned to a girl.
really at a really young age. So I feel like we're gonna start seeing cases like that. I was a teacher and I saw kids that were, kind of like a little bit like jazz. And I feel like the doll could be a good tool for us to, in a proper manner, educate the young ones in our society about what's out there in a positive
But
way.
at what age is it right to bring?
That's
this
for the parent to decide.
Yeah, but
But it's just go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Tom.
say that right now the issue is it's already a legislative issue, right?
Right.
The transgender movement.
Right.
So at this point, it's already crossed the line where a consideration has to be made for transgender people.
Yeah.
So it's now become.
But
no-
the thing is this is the thing. I'm sorry to cut you. It's just it's a doll. It's
No, I got you. I got
It's
you.
the same thing. Like it's closed captioning.
But what
Someone
you're
might
trying to
need
tell
that.
me.
It's a doll.
So
Someone might need
so
that
this
to
is
feel good.
so. But now, okay. But this is what I'm playing devil. Again, I'm all for I'm all for everybody being whatever they want to be, or whoever they identify with. Fine. But you're telling me that if a girl buys this doll and plays with this doll and sees that the doll has a penis and she's 3 or 4 years old and she doesn't have a penis, is that not going to cause some sort of confusion? That's where I'm worried. That's where my concern is. You know what I'm? Do you see where I'm coming
I know
from?
No,
what
I
you're
totally
saying,
see where
I
you're coming
get
from.
it.
That's
I know
where
what
I'm
you're saying.
coming
I
from.
just
So,
feel that
I got-
sexuality isn't something children
Right.
should be
I
exposed
got it.
to.
Because this
That's
doll
my
is being
point.
targeted, I'm pretty sure, from 2 to 5 years old or something like
Yeah.
that.
But I got a story that may make a little bit of sense with this, and maybe. And the story is about the shopping cart.
What shopping?
The shopping cart in supermarkets.
Okay.
Right? So back in the early 40s, shopping carts weren't a thing in supermarkets. That was a novelty,
Right.
right? So when they introduced the shopping cart, nobody used the shopping carts.
Okay.
So the supermarket had to pay people to use the shopping carts
Okay.
and walk around the shopping cart so people could assimilate to the shopping cart. Right now, we're having that same issue with the transgender movement towards bathrooms,
Right.
right? And
Correct.
I think that right now what's going on is that the doll is being introduced as a way of softening the approach to the conversation of transgender with kids.
But it feels like they're pushing the agenda.
Okay.
To me, it feels like they're pushing. I don't want to call it an agenda. They're just.
Yeah.
It's not an agenda. An agenda is something. I apologize for using that. I'm saying they're just. The kids aren't ready to at that age. I'm just talking about this targeted age for this
No,
doll.
I'm with
They're
you.
not ready to know anything about sexuality. Let kids be kids. If they want to put on a dress, let them put on a dress. If that's my opinion, because this is how I raised my daughter.
Yeah.
If they want to put, even if I had a son, if he wants to put on a dress, paint his nails, fine. But I would never push that on them, in a sense. Like I wouldn't not encourage the behavior, but I wouldn't say, oh yeah, like we had the conversation with Alicia Keys that her son painted his nails rainbow, right? Then he regretted it. He's like, I don't want my nails rainbow anymore. He already made the decision that he didn't want his nails rainbow anymore. But then she convinced him to get them done.
Yeah.
The same way he made the decision not to get his nails done rainbow, and immediately told himself, nah, I don't want to get my nails. That should have been the end of the conversation.
Yes.
Because he
He
let
should
him
be able to be comfortable to
let
change
him
his
let
mind.
the children decide. Because eventually, I'm one that believes you're born gay. If you're born gay, I do believe in that. So you're gonna be who you are. You're gonna be
Even
who
if
you
it
are.
takes
Just let it
50
happen
years.
on its own. Don't artificially. Don't let it happen. Don't.
I totally
I don't know what to
understand. I
say.
totally understand where you're coming from on that. And I think one of the biggest issues also that we don't realize about our society, that there's an empathy process to our movements, right? So right now we have the transgender movement. Right now we have 3 bathrooms instead of 2.
And shout out to the transgender community. They're great people.
And great. So now it has. What I'm saying is, like, it's like when the civil rights movement came about, right? It was law that now schools were going to get integrated at some point, right? So even then, white people had a hard time accepting integration in certain places.
Right.
So right now, what's going on is that accepting this. Listen, the conversation is not easy.
It's not at all. It's very complicated. It's not
easy,
at all.
No matter,
but it's a good conversation to have.
It's a good conversation to have. But the thing is that the doll may help with the conversation.
I disagree with you. I do.
Fine. You could disagree, and everyone else
but
is be happy.
The only reason I disagree is because let kids be kids.
I think the situation is down to parenting.
Yes.
If the
I agree. I'm not telling anybody how to
parent. If the box where the doll comes in says this is a transgender doll with a penis, don't buy it if you don't want your child to be exposed.
Exactly.
There's that. I mean,
I
don't agree with the doll.
Explicit lyrics.
You don't.
But I don't think there's a need for that, because when I grew up, Ken had no penis, and when I was 7,
and Barbie had no nipples,
and Barbie had no vagina, so it didn't make a sense to have a penis, because what were they going to do?
They were really gender neutral.
I was 7 or 8. I didn't care because
it was a different time, guys.
It's the same thing.
Well, I feel like
children don't need to know about all of this until, if your child hasn't asked you about sex, you do not need to talk to your kid about sex.
Okay, so then we have another problem now that we were just talking about that on the way over here. Information travels a lot faster now.
Yes.
So guess what? Kids have access to information that we as kids did not have. And at the speed which they have access to that is totally different to the way that we access. Like, porn to me was a magazine, right? Right now, Pornhub is like on fire. And that was the case, right? Now you got Pornhub. It's a whole different experience now.
I get it. But because they have so much information.
Yeah. Come on. You can, come on. She has it.
There's so much.
Go to Splu real quick. We got Wakita. Put on the camera real quick. She got something to say.
The thing is about, it's the right information. So even if you don't buy your child the doll, the kid that does have it, at 4 and 5, you do not understand that. And you could try and speak to them, but they could be feeding the wrong thing to their neighbor and friend.
Right.
That's true. Because at that age, you don't know.
And
Jazz knew at 4 that she wanted to wear dresses and dance ballet or whatever, but she was a boy. Until she turned 18, she had no surgery. And she was battling that forever.
Right.
During her teenage years, she struggled.
Because nobody would perform surgery.
Not just that, at school, nobody understood.
Okay.
So what do you think about I've seen it. What do you think about a 3 or 4-year-old? They don't understand, and so
I think when you bring up a good point. I knew about the doll. I didn't know it was such a young crowd. But I feel like, put that shit aside. I'm glad that it's a fucking doll that does that, because when children, which I've seen, and there's a pretty popular role, come about into your child's life, you can easily inform your child of how to cope with that. Like, at least there is a figure. It doesn't become like some unexistent taboo thing that we can't all talk about.
Right.
So I feel like this is a step into the right direction. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, great too. You'll do as you please. And if you ever want to have a conversation, there will be a doll available to shop for through Amazon and everything else. So,
as long as it's labeled, I think it should be fine.
Yeah.
I don't
it's a conversation
think you
starter
should
either
buy
way.
it for your kid and hope that your kid doesn't find the penis.
Like, I feel like in our society, though, there's no way that you can have a child and not talk about that. And going back to the thing about what, your child coming and talk to you about things, frankly speaking, I never went to my mom to ask things first. Why? Because it could be trust things, right? You see acts and you see behaviors, and you're like, okay, if I ask this, like, my mom's probably not even going to inform me, or she's going to get pissed. So I'm going to ask a friend. But
Who's more misinformed than you are.
It might be more misinformed, but it comes to the
happens.
trust. It comes to your household.
That's what happens. Oh, it's a fact.
And
you
so
never go to your mother for certain
it's
things.
better,
You just know that she's not gonna.
Like I think I said this in the last show, but my mom has never spoken to me about sex until I did it and told her. You know, I was so ready. Like I watched all those, American movies about the parent being like the bee and the blah blah blah, and I was like, I can't wait. It was so much so that my mom's friend gave her a book about how to talk about sex with your child. My mom literally put that shit in the gaveta in the bottom where no one could see it. So, parents, don't be on the other way of the extreme. Yeah. Try to find a good balance, and this dog could be a nice tool of which to inform your child of the differences that exist in our society in a much healthier form.
All right, so final notes. I disagree with it.
Yeah. It doesn't faze me because
But do you agree with the doll or disagree?
With the doll.
Natalia agrees with the doll.
Need to step in.
Your vote?
I'm neutral on it.
I'm neutral.
I know it's a legislative.
Deberían quemarlo todos los malditos muñecas.
Thanks, Blue.
All right, Blue, put up the graphic. We're going to take a quick 30-second break. When we come back, we'll have K Mosa gives it to you straight. And we'll be right back. Blue, take us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back with K Mosa giving it to you straight.
With a team, brought all my people and me. We can do fuck up the scene. Got me going like all out. Tonight is the night that we fall out. Smashing your shit and then bounce out. Yeah, this is the way that we roll now. Turn up the.
A mí me está llevando el día. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The dopest show on a Tuesday night. Thank you, LMP Studios, for letting us air this dope. 15 minutos. No está bien, Smurf. Smurf, te queremos, papi. Ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time. Here, let me get a little dance for you right here.
Hey. Yeah, I'm dancing like a dad right now. That's fucking embarrassing. I can't even wave anymore.
Man.
You know what it is? I'm tired because I went to that Nickelodeon universe. Yo, that shit was dope.
Yo, I heard that's like $50 a ticket, yo.
Really? Was that? I could have crossed the street.
I heard it's like $50 a ticket.
Y'all could have saved. We could have went to your house to eat. We went to Red Lobster. Yo, we tore Red Lobster up.
I like those
the biscuits.
I was gonna say muffins.
Yo, I introduced the girl I'm dating. I introduced her to them yesterday. I called them the basic bitch biscuits. She said last time she went to Red Lobster, she didn't get the Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Why?
So this was really her first time at Red Lobster yesterday.
So
they didn't bring them out. So we left with two. The waiter was nice. I'm like, it's the first time. He gave us 2 grab bags. She has like 50 of them in her house right now.
I go for the biscuits.
Basic bitch biscuits. Shout out to Red Lobster. K Mosa, what you got?
People. Today I have kind of like a serious one.
Yes,
because,
a serious one.
Yes.
Am I gonna let that slide?
Nothing serious to you, but it is a very serious
You know
matter.
what?
Anyway, so he wrote to me and he said, I just had a death in my family. It was a really close family member. I've
wow,
been
another
mourning
one.
and grieving, and I know that every culture is different and may have processes of grievance. I wanted to know what is a prudent amount of time to grieve without getting judged.
Good
Well,
question.
He
that's a
went
very
on
good
to
question.
say that in his culture, there's a 9-day, I guess the Spanish culture is because we all know what it is. They give
So
you
we
a
could assume this person is Dominican.
probably Dominican because
Okay.
there's a 9-day where you mourn.
And again, all these questions are sent anonymous, so we honestly do not know who sends these questions. So.
And he wants to know when he can actually, because he wants to go out to relieve stress. And I understand what he's saying because everybody grieves differently.
Are we talking about this?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
All right. So child or man or woman, whatever it is.
Okay, wait.
Um,
Let me just give it to him.
Oh yeah, give it to him straight. Yeah, give it to him straight. Yeah, give it to him straight. Then we'll go.
No. I want to say thank you for asking the question because we
Go
have
for
a lot
it.
to say.
Give it to him
Okay.
straight. Yeah.
My stand on this is the relationship between you and the person that passed defines your grievance. I believe that if you understood this person as who they were and what this person meant to you and would have wanted you to do, you know how to grieve. And just because you're home not doing social activities, it doesn't mean you're sadder than someone who's out actually living their life. Because sometimes not living your life makes matters worse because now you have to move on. You have to live because you're still alive. And I'm sure whoever this person was, if there was a close family member, loved you, they don't want you to die with them. That's just not logical.
Right.
And as far as people judging you, people will judge you no matter how long you grieve. You can grieve for 3 days. You can grieve for 3 years. Someone will have something to say. They will either say, he's grieving forever. He's so dramatic. It's
Wow.
not like it matters. What do you got to grieve for 12 years for?
Wow.
That's how you feel. That's how you feel. Then there's people who are going to say, oh, look at this one. His uncle died and he's out 2 weeks later. It's no one's business because that's a relationship between you, yourself, and your person that passed. And if you know that person and you know what that person would have wanted from you, you know exactly how to grieve. And that's it. I mean, there is no judgment. Everything you do will be judged. You just have to realize that you have to live for you because no one else is going to live for you but you.
So that's fucking
Yo,
good.
facts. That was a good response.
I have nothing to share because I totally agree with you in the aspect that but like depending on like you said the relationship of this person, like I've had uncles and aunts die and I would go perform at the Lila and have a good time because I wasn't that close. But at the same time, no, this is true.
And that's judgment.
Well, okay,
Here we go.
If I
Here we
didn't,
go.
if I
Perfect example. Thanks.
Wow.
Honestly, if it's say for example, a cousin that I don't know, but my mom is mourning him, but I didn't know him, why should I mourn him?
Because you mourn differently. It's different.
You know what I'm saying? So,
it's different.
but it comes to the relationship that Karina was talking about. You're the only one that knows how to mourn that person. My mom told me last year, se murió fulanito. I'm like, okay, I didn't know them. So now my life has to stop for 9 days because he was a family member and our culture dictates, or, it comes to that effect. Again,
Yeah, based on the relationship you have with that person.
exactly. And even if you, one last thing before you say so, even like Karina alluded to, if you have a deep personal, you need to know if my father passed away. And again, I didn't have a relationship with my father, but say for example, I had a great relationship with my father and my father taught me how to be a comedian. And I'm pretty sure my father will want me to keep people laughing instead of mourning. So it depends on the time. If your father is going to be okay with you continuing your life as you were.
Yes.
Because according, to life, like once you're dead, you're
gone.
Yeah.
You're dead. So
There's a saying in Spanish que el que se murió se jodió.
Gracias.
You fucking.
Gracias.
But go ahead, Tommy. I'm sorry. You had a point. Go ahead.
What?
But that's my take on it. Go ahead.
My
Se
statement
murió, se
here
jodió.
is everybody grieves differently.
Right.
Right. And the only issue I have with
different
this,
cultures.
and the only issue that I have with the statement is that he wants to he wants validation to what is the right amount of period.
There isn't.
What period should you?
But maybe he has a very judgmental family, and
Yeah,
that's really
but
where
the
it
thing
stems
is, at
from.
the end of the day, you can only deal with that yourself. It could be more than 9 days. It could be a day. Or it could be 5. Like the number doesn't. There's no. The standard should not be measured by external forces. It should be measured by your internal forces, right? Your soul, your spirit, your heart, and how you feel about that person. That is what should guide that grieving. Because somebody you may love somebody and you celebrate their death.
Right.
Yes.
Because that's what they wanted.
Yes.
And like frankly, like mourning it's mushy, like it's complicated, it ain't pretty. And the same way in which you're gonna see people that mourn for years, for months, and for days. Myself, for example, when I was mourning someone, there'd be some days that I didn't want to see nobody, and I would just cry, and just be alone. And the next day, I'd want to hear music, and the next day, I'd want to do something else, to mourn again. And like that's fine. Going back to what was mentioned earlier, like everyone mourns differently. There isn't one right way or right answer or given it amount of time. So if what's gonna make you feel better is gonna be to go and mourn, okay, fine. If it's gonna be to go out for one day because you need it, do so. If it's gonna be to listen to music, do so. Like, grieve your own way.
I have 2 comments on this topic in the chat. Denise McCourt says, everyone grieves differently. One person's 9 day is another person's 3 day. I believe the Jewish community buries their family member the next day or in a reasonable...
and then they do a 10-day...
Yeah. So back to Denise's point, she says everybody grieves differently. One person, 9 days, another person's 3 day grievance. Celebrating that person is a form of showing respect as well. There's many cultures that actually celebrate the life.
No, mira,
I believe in celebrating life
And I
than
told
mourning
my,
death. Because you had a great life. Your death's... Me too. I want people to roast me at my wedding. Don't cremate me. Roast me. Make jokes about me at my funeral. My wedding was just like death too, so that's a different story.
He's still grieving.
Facts.
One last point. Clara Wagner Anderson says you don't have to cry. You don't have to wear black, and seclude yourself to show people you are grieving. Everyone
And you don't
grieves
have. Oh my God.
and expresses their emotions
Can I
differently.
please add on to that?
Yes, go ahead.
Another
Thank you, Clara.
thing,
Thank you, Denise.
you don't have to go to the funeral. If you don't like, because this is the thing, a lot of the things in our society, I'm Dominican, it's very communal. Like you have to, follow the process, go with the leader's path. And like, frankly speaking, there were some times que yo no quería hablar de nada. Yo no quería a nadie. I didn't want to go to a funeral. That doesn't mean I loved less or loved more. That just means that, the same way that you have a relationship with God, I don't feel like I need to go to church in order to prove it to anybody. I don't need to prove to anyone that I'm mourning X amount or so. So like, do what makes you feel comfortable at that time, and don't really worry about everyone else, because at the end of the day, the connection you had with that person.
Grieving is very personal.
Yes.
So the only person who needs to feel validated is you.
You're
with
yourself. Look at it's if you I put it this way, if you don't feel it's right, don't do it.
Exactly.
Don't do it. If you don't feel
If you feel after 2 days you need to go out and walk or have a beer or listen to music in your car by yourself, then that's gonna make you feel better. Remember this person and have a good memory about this person, then do that. If sitting in the funeral or sitting at home and listening to videos of him when you were younger or crying or pictures is going to make you feel closer and better,
closure,
then do that. But it's very, very personal. You shouldn't have to prove anything or
and if you need to talk,
worry about
to
other
someone.
people. Everybody's
And
doing
there's always
it their
people
own
to talk.
way. So
like,
don't
find someone who you feel comfortable talking
Why
about.
do they say that you can't listen to music after someone dies? Like
it's one of those
Vaina de
things that
cultura, vaina de cultura, porque la música es de que alegría,
and you're
y
supposed
tú
to
tienes
be
que estar
sad.
triste.
tiene que estar miserable.
Yes. That's basically it is. We demand
But
that
let's
you
hold
be
on,
sad.
let's talk about it. Imagine you have a wardrobe and you barely wear white and black. Y porque se te muere una persona, you gotta buy a whole new wardrobe
Well, not just
for
that.
9 days.
What if all you wear is black?
You
But that's
what I felt.
Yeah.
So what are you
Well,
supposed
that's
to
what I
do?
felt
Like,
one
Yeah.
time.
I love black.
You
This doesn't
can't.
affect me in
I
any
mean-
way.
So it's not like you're gonna wear 7 days. You're not gonna wear black forever. It's just
Pero que ni
Oh, they
siquiera.
expect you to wear
¿Pa
black
qué?
forever.
¿Pa qué?
Depending on the person.
because eso es la regla. Tú no
La
puedes
regla
ir
es
como
que
un arcoíris
The
tampoco.
same way that a man or a woman made
Let's
a
put it
regla,
this way.
make the
You
ones for
could
yourself.
never heal from losing a loved one. That's impossible. You lose a pet, you never heal from that. but there's time where your life has to go on.
Uno se acostumbra.
Yeah.
Es lo mismo.
I think-
I don't think you even get accustomed because I still miss my grandfather. I still dream about it. You never get you adapt, but you never get accustomed to losing a family.
To
You
accept
change.
the fact that that
Yeah, that's
person's
something
not
I've
there.
never, like, I've lost. I've never, gracias a Dios, and sorry to anyone who's ever been through that, but I've never lost a family member, and I know ese
Yeah.
día va a llegar, but
Yeah, but
It's a
Yeah.
blessing.
it's one of
that's
those
tough.
things that's
But-
like, you just never are not ready for.
No.
I'm also going to add something really interesting because into this concept comes a little bit of our culture and our history,
Yeah.
right? What happens, you have to understand, lo duelo, the 90 days of duelo, was a thing that was done back in the day.
yeah.
It was a very slower time. Usually when people died, you had to process a lot of things, in terms of que dejaron atrás, letting people know.
Getting the
you
word
know,
out. Some of
get
these
the
people
word
weren't
out, get the
buried till
kids
after
to
the
pop
9
up.
days.
Men had kids.
That makes sense why they would do the 9 días.
Yeah, because they were
Oh,
waiting
yeah.
for
They had to get the
family.
lawyers and everything involved.
Y en La
They
Vega.
had to wait for-
Y se murió aquí en
Yo
Santiago.
soy
That
de
makes
La Vega,
sense.
¿qué
Y
pasa?
no hay
Yeah.
teléfono en los
Exactly.
1050.
So they had to wait
En
for the
2050.
uncle to
Claro,
come
o
from
sea-
wherever he was coming
Yeah.
from.
Exactamente.
He
On a
meant
freaking horse.
1950.
Yeah. So people
Yes.
had 9 days to get
Get their shit
Diablo.
together.
Yes.
to go to La Rezo because
imaginas qué
you
bobo?
couldn't get, because right now if somebody died, everybody shows up at the 2 or 3 days that you have the funeral. Back in the day, you didn't. Everybody showed up at your house. I mean, I can still remember when you had a dead body in your
house,
in your
on
living
ice.
room with 2 blocks of ice.
Ice. In the
Because
living, yes.
you didn't have funerals. My
Yes.
grandfather, that's how it died. He was like, yo. And that was my first experience with that. I was like, oh.
Come on, in the words.
And they
You
literally
guys-
waited for everybody to come from everywhere before they
Remember,
buried
you
him.
got 9 days. But that's really what's
And
going
the
on.
9 days
Today,
It's
is
to gather
because that's how
everybody.
long it takes for the body to start to decompose.
yeah. And then now you got to figure here. You
So
got
dejaban el cuerpo ahí.
On
nada más para que
ice.
llegue la gente
Yeah.
de La Vega,
Yes.
de
exactly.
fulanito, de
See, we
allá.
used to come from. Mira, I'm still come from an old school culture where when people died and they weren't related to you, it was a party because you were going over there to have cookies and coffee.
Café,
Fact.
galletita.
Actually-
Y salami, daban
Actually,
salami.
let me tell you,
Con
my
quesito.
grandfather's
Y el
funeral.
café.
Yo, what is it with the
En
food, yo?
cubito.
People come to funeral to
But it's
wakes paloderos
expensive.
to have
Yo.
cake
Your
and.
funerals are
and the
But you're
comedian.
also
expensive.
supposed to be there all day, so
Y
they
la
have to feed you.
comida.
It does. Okay, fair enough. All right.
El juguito, la
Comida.
merienda.
El
Because
sancocho.
también tiene que ser, like, hay que haber picadera. Hay que ver la merienda y no la galletita soda con un chin de
La de
refresco.
soda,
O
con
café.
salami.
Y tiene que
Y hay
contar
que
que
ver
esta gente-
comida también.
Exactamente, esta
You
gente
gotta
está en tu
feed them.
casa el día entero.
Because they're there all day.
Que del
Exactly.
velorio fue a las 9, que si el entierro a las 11, y ya después que está enterrado, todo el mundo dice que para tu casa.
Yes.
Desde la 1 de la tarde.
Yes.
Y son
Yeah.
las 8 y tú estás responsable de... Ey, mira.
Yeah. So
Todo el
all-
mundo, una recoleta, vamos para Madonna ahora, porque yo no voy a cocinar.
Yeah.
Pero entonces that brings up a good point. Like, that's the reason why I'm not so, like, entwined to our culture. Porque de la misma forma que hay gente que sí believe in that, there's a lot of people that don't. Y solamente van de que pa...
Because they have
Pasa
to. Because
coro,
their
pa-
mom
Pero
said
mira
they
they
como
have to.
Tommy dijo, que un party cuando alguien se muere y que vaya a
Exactly.
comer galletitas
You could
y café.
celebrate
Otra
life,
esa
though.
gente
I believe
hipócrita.
in celebrating
No, but
life.
okay, like,
How-
listen, I didn't say it was a party. Let's
No,
see.
te digo
You
que
said it was a
You said it was a
party.
party.
You said it was a party.
party.
Play that
Yo,
back.
we don't.
Play
Yo,
it back.
we gotta install instant replay on this show.
Okay, let me go
No,
back
no,
on
what
it a
I
little
meant
bit.
was, tú vas tú ibas a la velorio porque tú
A
sabes que ahí
lamber.
tú ibas a lamber.
This I
You
see
could
what he's saying.
tell-
Hay lambones que
was
van,
one of
hay
those
lambones que
dudes-
van a la hora santa.
Pero claro.
Oh, pero
Sammy was one of
claro.
those dudes that be like, bueno.
Tomás
se
sacaba
murió
su
Doña
tarjeta de
Fefa,
lambón.
Y tú
Ahí-
sabes que la sobrinita de Doña Fefa está
Hace un
como
bicocho.
es.
Y ese bicocho
Vamos
que
para
hace.
allá,
yeah.
agarrarla llorando.
Hay
darle
bicocho.
galletica y vaina.
No hay bizcocho.
I've
Ay,
seen
sí,
cakes.
café.
Yeah.
Tú ves, tú
There's
no
cake.
Si la
servías.
gente
Ni sirve
cocina,
tampoco.
son gente que tienen bizcocho. They bring out.
There's
they bring
cake.
out
There's cake.
everything. There's cake. There's cookies. There's whatever the neighbors.
No, de
brought.
verdad. Listen, I'll be honest. I feel like esas son
Tante
cosas
de
que uno puede
jengibre.
pedir en vida. For
Sí.
example, when my grandfather passed away, he was like, yo quiero una caravana.
Pero acá,
Like,
wait,
cuando yo me muera, yo
who
quiero una
passed away?
caravana.
His grandfather.
Did you say you didn't lose any family
Coño,
members
sí,
10 minutes ago?
mentiroso, hablador.
Yeah, but I was young, my man.
Oh, okay, pero okay, how?
Video.
Coño, Blue. Oh, you haven't
Yeah,
felt the
pero-
pain
yeah,
as an
yo no
adult.
sentí, like, como un
Ya.
adulto.
Yeah,
That sounded
I
like mine.
remember-
I didn't say it was a party.
Pero ¿cómo hace una caravana? Como
Like,
que...
yo, you see the videos and it's like,
A party.
like,
I feel you. I feel you.
y la cae muerto, Un reguero, un merengue del 80 y vaina. And Oma Osborne fue presidente. Todito chévere, ¿no?
Yeah.
Pero hay mucha gente
I
también.
see what you mean. I see
Lo
where the-
americano.
I was just trying
I did
to,
an
you know,
American guy.
That's how
After
it
a
was.
burial, they would go to the bars and drink.
Yeah.
And like that was normal
Yeah,
for them.
but I feel like si esa es la vida, por ejemplo, yo soy una persona alegre.
Yes.
Yo soy de la vida alegre.
Amén.
Like, ¿tú me entiendes? Like, that's what I love to spread, like this joy.
He does
Why
know
you
what
not-
that mean, right?
Yes,
What?
of course.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Pero yo estoy, lo
No,
que
no,
estoy
por
diciendo
si
que a mí
acaso.
me encanta la alegría.
Ajá, está
Me
bien.
gusta estar feliz.
No, no,
Y
por
como
si
quiera
acaso.
soy
No,
un
sí.
hombre de la vida alegre.
Ah,
Tú ves.
I'm checking.
No, pero de verdad, like, I'm probably gonna ask, like, yo, si Dios me da la lumbre llega viejo, and I have my family, like, you know, y yo
Or your
puedo pedir,
grandkids.
un reguero. Yo quiero pedir eso, like, yo, a mí no me entendí que llorando, a mí no me entendí que ¡ay! Ya me... No, prenda, you know my favorite songs,
Yeah.
ponme un playlist, sabes que a mí me gusta el Brugal, mira,
Ah, se nota.
And that's, you know, it's good that you brought that up. Porque esto también, it talks a lot about like how we're changing as a community
Yeah.
in our society. Like before, no se hablaba de la muerte.
Never.
Yeah.
And I mean, the same way that you're talking about that, like, desde que tenga like 15 años or something like that, Jenny Rivera passed away. And she had a song que se llama Cuando Muere Una Dama. And I love that song. And I was like, Mommy, when I die, I want you to follow all the steps that Jenny Rivera mentioned in the song.
And your mom was
I
probably
want
like,
my sister.
muchacha.
She was like, muchacha, no hable de eso.
Ay, ay, hablando de
And
muerte.
like,
'Cause it's a
even
jinx,
with my
yeah, you
boyfriend, like
But-
even with
but-
my boyfriend, like I'm really open about talking about death because I know how difficult it was for me to process death, but no one spoke about it. But everyone else is so like,
Yeah,
yo,
I
you
know.
mad
That
weird,
is
girl.
taboo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Death
normal.
is just
One of the things that
one
like
last few last points because we gotta wrap it up.
that you just said about having a caravan, this is where
Yo quiero una.
we need to start writing our wills.
Yes.
That's something that Latinos don't do.
Man, I just
And
learned
learn
from
forward.
Y que lo vamos a- yo, mira, el- yo creo que el padre de Nueva York dice que le vamos a dejar a la gente deuda, que es lo que dejan deuda. Dice Nueva York que los blanquitos dejan su carro, su casa, y lo que nosotros lo dejamos de giles. Yo, Mr. Nueva York, stand-up. ¿Qué es lo que vamos a dejar? ¿Qué es lo que vamos a dejar a la gente? Biles. Mr. Nueva York is so more on point with that shit in his stand-up, bro, que lo que nosotros dejamos de biles.
Like I said, there's 360 million people in the United States. Todo el mundo no está en mal y todo el mundo no está en deuda.
Ah, hay
Bueno.
que morirse al lado de eso.
Bueno.
Bueno, I mean,
On that note, I mean, funny enough, look how the universe works. You know, we had a cast member's father pass away and we had this conversation.
Yeah.
Hopefully he was listening and maybe this could help him a bit. You know, somebody going
We
through
love you.
something that's
We do, Manny.
you know, somebody's going through something similar as you. But yeah, man, we love you. This show was
We miss
dedicated to the
you.
memory of your father. We miss you. Take your time in coming back.
Mm-hmm.
But we do miss you.
My
So-
condolences, man.
Yes, yes. And thank you, Tom. You've been doing a great job holding it down for Manny.
Thank you for having
We
me.
really appreciate it.
Manny, when you come back, the seat's yours.
Oye, venga porque te van a coger
It's
splu
always
rápido.
You can have splu.
You can have splu back.
Oh,
But quick program note for next week. Next week we're gonna have Devontae Magic.
Yo, Devontae.
Devontae. Okay, so get this. So
Stop.
I went on my social media and I asked my friends, I need somebody who's
that video.
a
That shit is
skeptic.
crazy.
Who's a
He was
skeptic.
fucked up.
He's a mentalist. He's not only a magician, he's also a mentalist. So I do have somebody. Actually, we have two guests next week. We also have Devin Deadlifts. She's a bodybuilder, a female bodybuilder. She's also a nutritionist, and I believe she's a trainer as well. So she's gonna give us nutrition tips. If you guys haven't gone to the gym, ladies, I'm gonna post a promo tomorrow. She is a coworker of mine, but you need to see her body. It is amazing.
Hey, no,
I know it. She has an amazing.
You hot.
She has it. If you're gonna take
Your hair
any,
came off.
Yo,
if
my
you're gonna
whole
have,
thing is like,
if you're
we
gonna
gotta
have,
end this shit soon.
yo, her show, her thing is that.
girl. You don't
Yo,
me
yeah.
off this shit.
It's
right
time
now.
to go.
So yes. So next week we have Devin Deadlifts and we have Devontae Magic. It's gonna be an amazing fucking show. So Devin is gonna be. She's skeptic on magic, so she's gonna be giving close to
I'm
magic.
skeptic about my scarf.
We need Devin. We need Devontae to do some magic on her hair. Splu, ponte la cama de un pronto while I keep plugging next week's show porque esta mujer me tiene nervioso. But yes, Natalia, what we got this week? Besides,
Yes, we're gonna be.
don't worry, the camera's on Splu.
On Thursday.
Celebrating K Mosa's birthday.
Indeed.
Yes.
I will make that flyer and post it tomorrow.
We're gonna be in the Hill, Bristol, which is in Riverdale, all my Riverdale friends, and we're gonna be in Thing Marin this Sunday. So come through. It's gonna be lit tay. And I'm gonna have my scarf put on right.
Yes, please. And we're gonna have a burger after this show.
Yeah, we're gonna have burgers. Come through.
Tomorrow we can't tell you the location where we're gonna be at, but the Gender Blended Podcast will be at a private event for this movie.
It's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be lit. We're excited. We're a fairly new broadcast, and
We're
we're
gonna
getting all
take
these
pictures.
opportunities.
We're gonna take
We're gonna take
pictures.
pictures. We're gonna try to do a little interview.
Wait,
we're gonna
Splu,
try to
you
do
can
a
show me
vlog.
again. You can show me again.
Actually, let's try to vlog this. I've been doing a lot of vlogging.
Okay.
So I think Splu, myself, and Natalia are gonna carpool. So we might do a little vlog in the car and drop it on our YouTube to see what it's like. So
All right.
you know,
It'll
so
be
we'll-
there.
and then we'll continue the vlog over there as well. But we'll get a little shut
It'll be
popping.
fun. It'll be fun.
But yes, again, if you didn't hear the word, again, it is. No, you know what? We already said it enough. So
Yeah. it's
we've
good.
already said it enough. So if you
Tune
guys.
in next time so that we can hear about our venture of the event that we had tomorrow and how our weeks
And
went.
next week we'll talk about the first female coach NFL in the Super Bowl.
Awesome.
Yes.
We'll talk about that next
Yes.
week because the Super Bowl's coming up. So we'll
Dope show
definitely
next week. ladies
dope
and
show
gentlemen.
next week.
Bowl.
Thank you for tuning
There's
in.
gonna be a
This has
yes,
been
yes,
Gender
yes.
Blender. Thank you, Tommy. Manny, we miss you. Rest in peace. Manuel Vasquez Sr. Splu, take us out.
Yes, sir. Ladies and
Manny
gentlemen,
said he
thank you
saw
for
the
tuning in, and we are gone.
Okay, you saw the original.
It happened, it just came out of nowhere. A bus, he was speeding and he rear-ended me. I'm
Mueve la cadera. Cha, cha. Mueve la cadera.